From the Halifax Metro Centre, good evening and welcome to Quebec Major Junior Hockey League action on Eastlink Television. I'm your host, Dan Robertson. Tonight, the host team for the Memorial Cup in 2003, the Quebec Remparts, will take on the Halifax Mooseheads. The Mooseheads are just 1 point out of first place in the Dilio Conference after a 9-2 victory over Baie-Comeau Wednesday night in a game that saw 488 minutes in penalties. We'll talk more about that contest as this game goes on. Quebec has turned things around after a slow start early in the year. They were 3-8. I talked with their head coach Eric Levine and asked him how the team was able to turn things around.
So yes, you're absolutely right. We had a very bad start, so with 0-5 and 3-8. So probably we have a lot of new players. So we start the season with 11 new players, 3 new coaches. So all that stuff made we have a really slow start. After the surprise is after a huge training camp. We have a very, very solid training camp. So first loss, a lot of pressure, and we lost our confidence. So after that, step by step, we won the first game against Halifax, and after that game, we started playing really well after that.
And let's take a look at the Remparts' record on the road. 13 games played, 13 points, so nothing to sneeze at there. 6-6 and 0 with 1 loss in overtime. And their goals for pretty much equal to their goals against away from Le Colisée. 46 goals for and 42 against. Eric Levine won't be behind the bench tonight for the Remparts. A couple of games ago, Curtis Tidball, one of his players, left the bench, got into a fight, so that means an automatic 2-game suspension for the coach. He served at 1 game last night in a 6-5 loss in Sydney. Pierre Rioux will look after things behind the bench for the Remparts here tonight. Sean McKenzie, of course, will return to his familiar position behind the bench for the Mooseheads, who have lost twice this year on the road, both times to the Remparts. I asked him what his team has to do to defeat Quebec here tonight.
Well, I think they've got a very talented offensive team, and I think offensive players, they do good things when they have the space to do good things, and I think we didn't really play as physical, as tight a game as we usually do. So I think we'll have to play more our style and see how we do. But I think they're a very good hockey club. If you look at their record lately, it's come a long ways, and they're hosting the Memorial Cup, and I think they're right now the top 2 or 3 teams in our conference.
So the Remparts will be a good test tonight at home for the Mooseheads, who in 12 games have 17 points, 8-3, 0-1, 53 goals for. They've really improved at home there of late, and 29 goals against here at the Metro Centre. That's just a little bit more than 2 goals against per game, so a great defensive record for the Mooseheads here on home ice. For their thoughts on tonight's game, let's go to our commentators, Ken McNeil and Paul McDonald.
Thanks, Dan, and to welcome again, everyone. Ken McNeil and Paul McDonald tonight here in the broadcast booth as we get set for this matchup between the Rempart and the Halifax Mooseheads. And let's start things off by looking at tonight's line combinations. First, starting with the Quebec Rempart.
Of course, the big player on this team to watch, Sean Collymore and Matt Graham, we see up from Halifax. He's playing this year with the Halifax McDonald's call-up for tonight's game, and Guillaume Berube having a great year as well for the Remparts.
Now for the defensive pairings, Beaulieu, Ledare, of course, played with the Dartmouth Subways last season, and Didier Beauchete, one of the go-to guys back on the blue line.
Now for the Mooseheads up front, 2 big scoring lines centered by Bell and Vrana. A.J. McLean, LaBelle, and Preston, a very solid checking line for the Moose.
Of course, the Halifax Mooseheads, a very solid defensive hockey club, and there's your pairings tonight, of course. Pat Gilbert, a very defensive-minded defenseman. Of course, Yersin, on the other hand, he can strike it up from the blue line at any time.
Yersin with 8 goals on the season, 7 of them on the power play. Now we'll have a look at the goaltenders for tonight's game. In nets, Benjamin McMullin. He's from British Columbia. The Remparts have been splitting it half and half all year between McMullin and Lachance. Lachance played last night in Cape Breton. Tonight, it's McMullin's turn, and he gets to start. And for the hometown Mooseheads in net, Jonathan Boutin. He won the job outright after a good start to the season. 6'1", 195 pounds, a 91.3 save percentage, and he's got a very solid 2.27 goals against average.
Of course, the Mooseheads are coming off a wild one on Wednesday night. there's Robichaud, and hopefully those guys won't be as busy as the guys were on Wednesday night, Paul. We certainly won't talk about it much throughout the hockey game. We'll touch on it briefly now. It's something very unfortunate that happened, but it's in the past. And, you know, as I like what the GM Marcel Patnaud had to say in the paper, it happened. Let's forget about it and move on.
Well, a lot of things, you know, happened here on Wednesday evening. A lot of people not happy with what happened. Those things happen sometimes in the game of hockey, and they're not very nice things to see, especially when you bring young fans to watch the hockey.
Well, the Mooseheads, of course, have been very successful here at home, and we'll have a look at the keys to success for both hockey clubs here, starting with the Quebec Remparts.
Last night in Cape Breton, they were down 2-1 after one, 4-2 after two. They could not come back despite 44 shots directed at the Cape Breton net. They have to have a strong first period. They have great scoring throughout the lineup. Massey, Hennessy, Shishkinov, Montgomery, and Collymore, all great scorers, and of course the goaltender has to be strong here tonight.
Now for the Halifax Mooseheads, discipline, strong defensive play and goaltending, Paul. We see the key in the middle, defensive play. They're always good defensively.
Well, they have scored 34 more goals than they have allowed so far this year. Discipline, they've been on the power play 40 more times than they've been trying to kill penalties. So you have to be strong, disciplined. You have to get the puck out of your zone, and when that happens, you can put the puck in the net.
Well, their power play certainly is firing on all cylinders. 6 for 12 on Wednesday night. And they go on to beat the Baie-Comeau Drakkar 9-2. And the Rampart come in here after losing in Cape Breton last night. As we get set for this hockey game tonight here from the Halifax Metro Center. Quebec and the Halifax Mooseheads, a 5-game homestand for the Mooseheads.
Again, the Mooseheads having a great record at home, but Ken, let's look at their road record. 5 wins, 1 loss, 5 ties, 2 overtime losses. Or 1 overtime loss, sorry, on the road. Both the loss and the overtime loss has come at the hands of the Quebec Remparts.
Both from the Colisée in Quebec, so the first time they meet on the Mooseheads' home soil here tonight at the Metro Center. And we'll have a look now at the standings of the Frank Dilio Conference.
Halifax squarely in front, 3 points ahead of Moncton. Halifax 13 wins, 4 losses, 2 overtime losses. They 33 points. Moncton with 30 points. Acadie Bathurst 28. Cape Breton pulls her up on the back with 23 points. Baie-Comeau lead the Dilio. They also lead the East, 34 points. 1 ahead of Halifax. Baie-Comeau, as you'll notice, will have a game in hand over the Halifax Mooseheads. Tonight's opposition, the Quebec Remparts, after a slow start, now have 26 points on the season.
Presentation being made on the ice to Pat Gilbert from President Kevin Cameron. Gilbert playing his 300th game in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Certainly a great milestone, and Gilbert, as we touched at the top of the broadcast, a great defenseman, and this season Gilbert has chipped in with 2 goals, 11 assists for 13 points, but Paulie's very responsible in his own end.
Well, of course he is. He's a strong hockey player, strong defensive, and that's a trademark of a Sean McKenzie's coached hockey team.
Now we'll join Jennifer Pettipaw for O'Canada at ice level, and then we'll be back with tonight's opening face-off. Another good crowd here tonight from the Halifax Metro Center. It's the Rampart and the Halifax Mooseheads, Ken McNeil and Paul McDonald, along with Dan Robertson and Tim Cranston. Another broadcast here on Eastlink Television, and it's our pleasure to be calling this hockey game tonight. Todd Tamander, as we mentioned, the head referee, and he comes to center ice. We're moments away from getting this one underway, Paul. The Mooseheads is starting to show they are one of the top teams in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League this season.
Well, after kind of a slow start offensively this year for the Mooseheads, they've really started putting some nice numbers up on the board. They've scored 9 goals twice so far this year. They've scored 8 goals another time. They've almost averaging 4 goals per game, and that's the top in the league so far this year.
So it's Doucette who comes to center against Bayruby from the Rampart, and this hockey game is underway from the Metro Center. As Picard will stop that pass, the Rampart will get it back again as they finesse one inside the Halifax line. Getting the call again in goal, Jonathan Boutin, backing Boutin up tonight. Jason Churchill, the Antigonish Junior A Bulldogs goaltender. Here's a chance right in front. Rolled off the stick of Guillaume Berube. And Halifax will load at it ahead through the center. Doucette now skips it over the line. Couch up in the rush. His shot is steered aside by McMullin. Tonight's starting goaltender for the Rampart. And we'll have a stoppage in play.
Doucette going hard from in front of the net, and McMullin takes a stick and takes the legs out from underneath of Doucette, the Halifax McDonald midget AAA player, and he's playing well in his 9th game with the Mooseheads.
Face-off is inside the Rampart zone. Benji McMullin, of course, from White Rock, Cape Breton, getting the call tonight after replacing LaChance, as Paul, you had said in the hockey game last night. Just 18 shots Cape Breton sent towards the Quebec goal, scored 6 times. Shot goes wide of the goal. Ursina will race in. Michael Couch able to keep it in. The puck sent to the corner. Tommy Bolduc sends it around on the boards. And Bobby Clark again able to pinch in and hold on to it. McLean now near side of the ice as the Rampart. Bolduc once again, this time will find the open ice as it rolls towards Boutin. He'll be forced to play it as Michael Couch now will glide back and pick it up for the Mooseheads. Couch now will leave it for LaBelle. LaBelle the drop pass as they work it back. Couch drilled to the ice, but here come the Mooseheads. LaBelle, miscommunication there with his winger A.J. McLean. And it's David Massey. This guy, the leading goal scorer for the Rampart. Rolls to a soft one in on goal, and Boutin will pull it in and hang on to it for a face-off.
Looks like A.J. McLean's line has drawn the job of shadowing the top line for the Ramparts, and of course David Massey and Shishkinov is on that line. Game summary from the first game. They met twice so far this year. Tuesday, October 1st. No scoring until the 17:55 mark of the 3rd period. Stefan Bourgon scored in overtime. 5 different scorers in this second Rampart win over the Mooseheads in game number 2.
Gannett turn the puck over, but it'll be Vrana taking control now. The pass for FP Gannett. Left side, he's drilled there along the side boards. Vrana will step in. And this skilled rookie with the wraparound attempt. Steered aside by McMullin. Kept in all by the Mooseheads. Gannett looks to force it through. He stalled on that rush. And here comes Collymore. Collymore taken out by Randy Upshaw. And it's Picard sending it to the Rampart defenseman. And they'll start as Carl St. Pierre. Cross ice pass for Bolduc. And once again, it's the Mooseheads take over the neutral zone. Jean-Francois Cyr, Vrana, and Gannett have been red hot for the Halifax Mooseheads. As it's flipped in once again by Quebec. They'll look to get a line change as Montgomery heads off the ice. And Picard will take over for the Mooseheads. Picard across for Randy Upshaw. Upshaw with some open ice. He'll dump it into the cross corner. McMullin will leave it for Bourgon. Trubel can't play here. Free shot. Whistle right on. And the glove shot made by McMullin.
Poor clearing attempt by the Ramparts. Bernier picked the puck up, got away very quickly, but he shot the puck a little bit too high. McMullin, nobody in front of him, was able to get the big trap route, make the save, and force the face-off with this dangerous Halifax Moosehead starting lineup out there.
Trubel again on this face-off. Controlled by the Rampart. Now they turn it over. Here's Bernier. Shot. The wraparound just missed on the glove hand side. Kept in. Bernier again. High slot. Shot again. Save McMullin. As that swatted to the corner by McMullin. Bernier tied his man up. Benedict looking to set it up. Pass knocked down, and they control it along the side boards. Ripped around on the other side. Thatcher Bell again stepped in front of that one. The pass hopped over the stick of Bernier. And it's Benedict taking control. Here's Benedict cutting between the circles. Shot. Save made. And again the rebound pulled in by McMullin. Certainly the busier of both goaltenders here tonight as the Mooseheads with some good pressure but can't beat McMullin in the Rampart goal.
Some nice work again by Benedict's line. Benedict, of course, leading the team in scoring this year with 32 points. Recently scored his 100th career goal in the regular season in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League for the Mooseheads. Here's the hard work down low. Pack out to Bernier. Quick shot. 2 good shots. 2 good scoring chances. That shift by Bernier.
Ursina with a snapper that does not get through. It's blocked by the Rampart. And it's Beaulieu, the defenseman. He turned it over. Here's Michael Couch. Shot off the base of the post. Couch playing with A.J. McLean tonight and Jonathan LaBelle. And Couch, normally a defenseman, plays, I guess you can say, a bit of a defensive and offensive roles. They call it the Fed system. Sean McKenzie likes to use it, and he kind of uses Couch as that third defenseman.
Well, again, the Fed system, or what it's called, it's been used by a lot of different coaches throughout the years. It's nothing new, but what it does is it strengthens your defensive presence out on the ice.
Here's David Massey now through the logo at center. He'll weave inside the line, but it's called on the offside as Josh Hennessy had jumped in. No score. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Andy Wolda takes control of the puck in neutral ice. He flipped it off, and it's knocked down by Pat Gilbert. He turned it over at center. Rampart look to get something going. Mooseheads take over once again. They'll get it now. Hustle in. Beauchesne looks to ride him out of the plate. And it's a bulldog once again for the Rampart. Passes off the boards and down the ice. It's going to be an icy call against the Quebec Remparts here in the opening period. No score between Quebec and Halifax.
A couple of the Moosehead players are on some good scoring streaks now. F.P. Gannett, 19 points. He's on a 12-gamer. Thatcher Bell, 16 points in 9 games. And Jean-Francois Cyr has a 6-game point scoring streak going, and he has 15 points. Tail of the scores, David Massey, 3 points last evening, 32 overall. And Peter Vanna has 15 goals and 13 assists as the #1 point-getting rookie in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
Hurnabees will dump it off. And it's Upshaw, stepped in front of that. Benedict looks to set up Thatcher Bell. Here's Bell racing down the left side. Shot, and he just missed on the short side. And then the puck is deflected out of play. Thatcher Bell set up by Brendan Benedict. And a close call there for the Halifax Mooseheads.
Bell coming over this year from the Oceanic of Rimouski. Thorn in the side the last couple of years for the Mooseheads. Nice to have him on your team, and watch him break up the left side of the ice coming in on McMullin. Goes for the short side. A lot of players would have went over the glove. He tried for the short side and just missed.
Jimmy Sherrill shot is blocked. Here's a partial break. Butamo races out of the goal. And he'll beat Constantine to the puck. Back come the Mooseheads. Thatcher Bell stepped around his man, dropped it there, but nobody home. Hurnabees will take over for Quebec. They'll come through to center ice, and it's dumped off by Constantine, and Boutin will stop it and set it up for Randy Upshaw. Upshaw with the right wing pass for Bernier. Nowhere to go. He'll angle it off the glass. And it's controlled now by the Rampart. Beaulieu. They'll work it back inside the line. The Rampart looking to get organized. A.J. McLean, solid body check there on the near boards as he took a healthy run at his man and knocked him flat on his back. Bobby Clark will back it up again. Ursina now will head up ice. He overskates it. Almost a close call there. Lurking in the background, Lavallee for the Rampart. Back inside the line, Beaulieu gave it away. Another shot deflected just wide by the Rampart defenseman, Beauchesne. He's knocked off the puck. LaBelle centering. But it's Beaulieu once again for the Rampart. Yes, his hard around will find it outside and all the way back inside the Moosehead line. Here's Michael Couch now with a good outlet pass for A.J. McLean. McLean drilled there along the sideboards by Fauché. Beaulieu once again back for the Rampart as they have trouble moving outside the line. They come through the center ice. Beaulieu steps in over the blue line. Picard with him all the way, and the puck taken by Brandon Benedict. Benedict, or check that, Branna. Gannett falling. And it's Picard stepping up. Here's Picard. Gannett trailing. There's the pass. Gannett, no room to shoot. Now Beaulieu will take it for the Rampart, and they turn it back up ice. Long shoot in now for Quebec, looking to send the forechecker and try to get something set up offensively. Boutin has not been tested here so far in this first period. No score from the Halifax Metro Center. Gilbert all over his man as they go to the corner boards. The puck is scooped up and sent along the boards on the far side. FP Gannett cuts through center. Nice pass for Verena. Verena in over the line, but Sear had jumped in ahead of the play. And we'll get an offside call against the Halifax Mooseheads.
Verena has come on very strongly here, Ken. Since the start of the season, Kevin Malahill of Drummondville, the Rookie of the Month for September, October. I think you're looking at the Rookie of the Month for November there. And here's the clearing attempt, or the nice hard hit by A.J. McLean, taking out the Rampart defenseman heavily into the boards as he cleared his zone.
Clean face-off win for Quebec as they come once again through the center, and they'll flip a soft one in. Milan Yurchina sends it around the boards to Cabana. Cabana now with some time will set it ahead. Broken up though, and Josh Hennessy looking to get it going for Quebec. He had the puck stripped away from him, and it's Randy Upshaw now for the Mooseheads. Pass on the left wing, Cabana bounce it off the boards, taken by Quebec. They turn it over once again. And we're going to have a delayed offside called here as the play a bit ragged now here in the opening period from the Halifax Metro Center. Let's look at the scratches tonight for the Halifax Mooseheads. Michael DiLorenzo, Eric Kent, Nathan Vino, and Colby McIntyre, Paul. And I guess the one that comes to mind, DiLorenzo, not sure what's taking place there, but Jason Churchill is indeed the backup goaltender for this evening's hockey game.
Churchill's been strong in the nets for the Antigonish Junior A Bulldogs. And I'm not sure what's going on there either.
Quebec now as they pass it back and forth. Finally, we'll get outside the blue line. Pass up for David Massey. Nobody home but the Mooseheads. And St. Pierre will try it. St. Pierre will pass ahead for Shishkinov. He's hit hard there. Shishkinov, one of the stars in this Quebec Rampart Hockey Club, of course, as you heard their host, Dan Robertson, make mention of. They will host the 2003 MasterCard Memorial Cup from the Coliseum, Quebec. Yes, Bobby Clark now, right wing pass Bernier. He'll go cross ice for Benedict. Sherrill jumps up on the rush. Here's the pass for Bell, intercepted now. Sherrill will have to hustle back the other way as he taps it ahead for Bernier. Bernier then turn the puck over, and it's the Ramparts who bring it in, but they'll be offside with no score here from the Sherrill. Cross ice now for Bobby Clark. Clark will gain the line and he'll dump it off. And it's Bourgon back to pick the puck up for Quebec. Shots favoring the Halifax Mooseheads 6-2 to this point in the opening period. No score though. Here from the Halifax Metro Center, the Mooseheads coming off a wild 9-2 win over the Bay-Camo Drakkar and the Rampart. Enter the hockey game after a 6-5 loss here. We're going to have a scrap. Jordy Preston for the Mooseheads against Ledare. Colin Ledare mixing it up the former Dartmouth subway, and that happened well behind the play. Both players losing their balance, and that one quickly over. Colin Ledare and Jordy Preston, the two combatants, and they'll both be escorted to the penalty box.
Ledare, the 6-foot, 201-pound rookie from Halifax last year in the second round of the O2 entry draft, and he really wants to put a show on here at the Metro Center for his friends and family. Preston being led away to the dressing room area. Ken, perhaps he picks up the aggressor penalty, or maybe he has to readjust the equipment. We'll have to wait for the call.
So they'll clean up the gloves and helmets on the ice, and we'll be back to the action here momentarily as the Mooseheads and Quebec Remparts locking up here for a Filio Conference matchup. Of course, we've made mention already that the Quebec Remparts will host the Memorial Cup this season.
Josh Hennessy leads the Quebec Remparts in assists with 16, Ken, and Brandon Benedict with 22 lead the Halifax Mooseheads.
Mooseheads will line up inside the offensive zone for this face-off. Cabana unable to win the face-off, and it's Bolduc taking the puck. Cabana all over him, and Hennessy will skate back. Now for Bolduc. Massey here on the right side, leading the pass. Now Massey will take it for the Rampart. Cross for Shishkinov, shot right on, juggled by Boutin, and it's back to the line. Bolduc shot, not a lot on it. Deflected wide to the corner. And Picard will take it for Halifax. He'll feed it ahead, Cabana. Hits Doucette with the pass. Kyle Doucette. Carried it, lost control. Picard was run over there. And back comes Quebec now. Josh Hennessy stick handles in over the blue line. There's the pass, broken up. Hennessy looking to force that through. And Cabana now will start back the other way for the Mooseheads. He'll get to center and dump it off as McMullin will stop it. And once again, as Jean-Michael Bolduc back to pick it up for Quebec. Teams playing at 5 aside. Rampart again turned it over. FP Gannett steps in over the line, looks to drop it. Here's Brandon. Brandon, nice touch pass across. And Sear ran out of room as he got in tight on McMullin and couldn't get it up and over. Nice redirection there. Gannett to Vrana, and Sear unable to finish it up.
Things must be going good offensively for this line. Gannett took the puck in over the blue line. Watch the dangerous drop pass at the blue line. Luckily, it was right on the stick of Vrana. It very easily could have been intercepted, taken the other way. Sear unable to seal the deal, but this line has been going very well for the Mooseheads in the last 5-10 games.
Vrana ushered out of the face-off circle. Gannett will step in. Sear looks to play the puck as it's sent to the corner right side. Sear tied up there as Montgomery in looking. Here's the Mooseheads. Back of the goal. And as Gannett was hammered. Vrana, nice pass for Bobby Clark. He jumps in from the blue line. Clark looks to set it up. Intercepted though by Bolduc. And Vrana will stride back and take Clark's spot. And he'll play the puck now for the Halifax Mooseheads. Vrana certainly starting to build up but more confidence, Paul, as each hockey game goes on.
Last game we did here, he had a hat trick, played very well, puts the puck on the net, and that's what you have to do.
Back come the Quebec Remparts, stepping in over the line. There's a shot there. Off the stick of Fauché. And Gilbert rides in into these sideboards. And Jean-Francois Sear now flips it to the line. Kept in by the Rampart. Sends it off the boards. And Gilbert can't play it. There's a chance. Collymore centering pass. Deflected. Kept in once again. Knocked down this time by Gilbert. And the Mooseheads will get the opportunity to move it out as Vrana now will carry it out. Here's Peter Vrana right through the neutral zone. In over the blue line. There's the back pass. Nobody home. And it's taken by Guillaume Baroudet. He flipped it ahead. That was knocked down by Picard. And Picard will set up Thatcher Bell. Bell ahead for Benedict. He'll saucer it across for Upshaw. He was slow to get to it. And he's forced to send it to the corner boards. Here's Bell in front. And Bernier had it hop over his stick. He has Milan Ursina. Will skate back. Cross-ice pass for Randy Upshaw. Upshaw will bank it off the boards for Benedict. Hit there. And Quebec take over from their own blue line. No score here in the opening period. As Bernier with a good solid body check along the sideboards. Mooseheads can't jump on it any farther. Yeah, they'll take over at center. Picard across for Ursina. Ursina now snaps it in around the boards, and Benedict will race to it. Look to set up Thatcher Bell. He fanned on it. And back come the Rampart. Good set of speed, or a set of wheels, Shishkinov, but he lost control. And here's Brendan Benedict once again for Halifax. Nice drop pass. Bernier's shot goes just wide of the goal. And Picard lumbering in from the blue line, forced back outside the line. Quebec now looking for some offense. Here's Shishkinov, bothered enough. And Benedict's cross-ice pass. Intercepted, and back comes Didier Beaucheté. Beaucheté to center ice, looking for Collymore. Pass too far for him, and Gilbert once again taps it off the end boards. Ursina won't reach it. Chance now for Kootenay. He lost control. Here's the break now. Frederick Cabana. Beaucheté beat him to the puck. Nice move. Shot! Close stop. McMullin robbing Cabana after a dandy move to get by Beaucheté. Still no score from the Metro Center. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. E.G. McLean readies himself for this face-off. That's controlled by Quebec as they send it on the far side. Collymore giving a bump there, and the Mooseheads jump on the loose puck. LaBelle with McLean and Cabana. Cabana just 16 years old. And is not afraid to mix it up. And he looks like he's going to be a good find for the Halifax Mooseheads.
Playing exceptionally well this year so far for the Mooseheads.
Puck is deflected off the board. Montgomery wrapped up by Gilbert. LaBelle in as well. As good 2-on-2 battle pursuing there. A.J. McLean now drifts in. Can't clear it out though. Here's Bolduc shot. Nice pad save. Boutin flared the left pad out. And makes his toughest stop of the hockey game. Here's Beauchete, ripped the wrist shot. Blocked nicely by A.J. McLean. And it's helped out by Cabana. Massey looking for the loose puck right at the Moosehead bench. Lots of traffic. And Todd Commander will slow things down. We'll have a face-off on the Moosehead side of center ice.
Getting back to rookie Frederick Cabana. He was third-round draft pick in the entry draft this year, 33rd overall. That means there was 32 picks ahead of him. I'm sure those 32 picks, the teams now are wishing perhaps they'd taken him. He's got 5 points so far, and he's starting to be a real thorn in the side of some of the other teams.
And it looks like perhaps he likes that job as well, Paul. There's the Moosehead. Gannett had it knocked away by Beaulieu at the last second. Mooseheads will continue on the attack. Jean-Francois Cyr lost control. Massey gets it outside the line. Halifax will evacuate. And Quebec once again will look to orchestrate a rush. No score in the hockey game here tonight from the Metro Center. Beaulieu once again back for Quebec. Gave it away. Here's the chance. Brenna teed it up. That's blocked by Bourgon. And it's Quebec once again looking to set something up. Timo Shishkinov for the Quebec Remparts. Bourgon sends it around the boards. Yersina pinched in from the blue line. Shishkinov can't muscle the puck outside the line. Here's Cyr centering. Gannett had his stick lifted by Bourgon. And it's Gannett. Shot directed on goal by Yersina. Blocked away. Upshaw again. In from the line. He'll dump it deep for Cyr. Cyr bodied off the puck. Now Beaulieu looks to get a whistle as he falls on top of it. Todd Commander hollering to move it. And they're forced to move the puck. Mooseheads again break it up. They've done a good job so far in the hockey game, Paul, able to slow down this Rampart hockey team.
And give the Ramparts credit, too. They've kept the Mooseheads off the scoreboard. The Mooseheads are known this year for great starts in the first period. A great road start for the Ramparts.
Crowd also appreciating the work by the Halifax Mooseheads. As Bernier steps in over the line, but it's called on the offside. So they'll face off at the Quebec blue line. No score here tonight from the Halifax Metro Center.
17-year-old Marc-Andre Bernier from Laval, Quebec. 6 points last year as a rookie with the Mooseheads. 21 points so far this year. He's really benefiting from playing with Benedict and Bell.
Lots of action tonight in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Baie-Comeau in Moncton, of course. They'll be short-staffed with suspensions to head coach Richard Martel. Louis-Philippe Martin out of the lineup as well. Val-d'Or is in Hull. Sherbrooke is at Rimouski. Drummondville against Shawinigan, and Chicoutimi against Victoriaville. And our next broadcast will be in Cape Breton next Friday night, and it will be the Drummondville Voltigeur for that matchup, 7:30 next Friday night, right here on Eastlink Television as we follow the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Thatcher Bell now weaves his way inside the line. He had a pocket picked by Hercules, and he has Berube. Pass for Hercules. He steps in over the line. Constantine with him, but that pass broken up. Quebec gets it back again. Shot on goal. Juggled by Boutin. Looks to be fighting the puck just a little bit. He has not been tested so far, though, much or a whole lot, Paul, in this first period.
And most of the shots that have gone his way have come from outside. You have to make that first shot and let your D get rid of it, and he's done that so far, although he's looked a little bit shaky.
Here's rookie defenseman Jimmy Sherrill for the Halifax Mooseheads. Nice pass ahead for Benedict, looking to spot Bernier. He kicked it up, but lost control. Benedict will hustle up. Can't keep the puck in. There's Pat Gilbert playing in his 300th game in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Able to dump it in deep for Halifax. A.J. McLean off the bench. Can't play it cleanly. Gilbert again sends it through the middle. Back comes Quebec. They've got a man trapped offside, though. They send it in. They wave off the offside. Fans not too happy with that call as A.J. McLean now will start the rush for Halifax. McLean gathers some speed as he heads through the neutral zone. Pass off for Montgomery. Skeet. Michael Couch knocked to the ice. There's a chance. Nice interception, though, by A.J. McLean. As Gilbert will feed it across for McLean. McLean gets in over the line. But it's going to be called on the offside. No score here with 3:15 to go. Play back underway here from the Metro Center as Upshaw knocked that high pass down. Verena will move it ahead. Gannett. Gannett now steps in on the right side. Gets around his man. Nice pass in front. Verena was tied up in traffic. Puck rolling back to McMullin, the goaltender, and he's forced to smother it. As this line, Gannett, Sear, and Verana ball with some great passing. They certainly love to move the puck around and perhaps sometimes guilty maybe of not getting the shot away rather than taking the pass.
Well, here's some nice work down low by Gannett. Puts it in front just in the skates of Verana and just out of the reach of Sear. Really no man's land. McMullin takes this opportunity to cover up the puck.
We're going for Quebec. Can't clear. Here's Yoshina teed it up. That's blocked. Verana on the loose puck, but tied up nicely by the Rampart defenseman, Carl St. Pierre. And they'll do it all over again inside the Quebec line. Face-off will be to the left of Benji McMullin.
Milan Ursina, number 3 for the Mooseheads, played an exhibition game here for the Boston Bruins. Got a goal in that hockey game. He's looked strong, and he's been a very strong force on the D for the Mooseheads this year.
Well, going beaten to the puck by Sear. He had it knocked away. And it's off the glass. St. Pierre sending it back inside the Moosehead line. Couch again, circling back for Halifax. Fan on the pass. Gannett will step up and try to move it. Couch now with a second opportunity. Can't get it by Hertubis. St. Pierre. Chance for the Ramparts, but the puck moved out. And it's Carl St. Pierre again for his defense partner. And Quebec. Constantine sending it into the right corner. Both men pinned against the glass. Couch now takes a whack at it, can't clear it. And they continue to battle in the corner boards. Now they'll move to the hash marks. Benedict stepped up and stole that puck. Here's Benedict now. Upshaw on a rush. Dropped it there for Randy Upshaw. Upshaw walking in, passed it off to the open side. Nobody home. Now Bell back on the ice. Here's Upshaw. Thatcher Bell in between the dots. Couldn't get this shot on goal. And it's Quebec once again. They'll loft one through the center, and it's Ursina back for the Halifax Mooseheads. Or Benedict. Benedict has a step on Bolduc. Forced to put the brakes on. Now is hacked off. There's a shot. Rebound. Oh, good glove stop as Bernier didn't get what he wanted, but McMullin forced to make the stop.
You have to give Didier Bachete some credit there. He did not let Marc-Andre Bernier just float through the slot area. He picked up his man. Bernier not able to get everything on that puck, on that shot. McMullin able to make the save and cover up. So some great work by the Rampart forwards down deep in their own defensive zone.
Defensive zone face-off again for Halifax. Thatcher Bill. Benedict on the left side, Bernier on the right side as it's rung off the glass. Ursina, though, will keep it in. Here's Milan Ursina sending one wide of the goal. And it's St. Pierre. Can't move it out. Gilbert keeps it in momentarily. Now finally does come outside the line. Ursina had to be awfully careful. Now Shishkinov looking to set up Josh Hennessy. That doesn't work. Benedict now. Great set of wheels on Benedict. Breaking in. The deep, the shot, and he went just wide on the glove side. Bothered just enough by Borgone. Ursina now will send it down low. There's a one-timer off the post. Bernier snapped it. Back to Ursina. Wrist shot again wide on the blocker side. Good pressure here as the period winds down. Mooseheads all over Quebec, but can't beat the goaltender, Benji McMullin. Bouncing puck finally pulled in by Halifax, and it's Thatcher Bell. Back for Halifax. He teed it up, and he goes wide on the short side. Sear races in for Bell. Bell, as St. Pierre wrapped him up, and a loose puck back to center ice. And what a flurry here as period number 1 continuing to wind down. McMullin out of the goal. Here's Sear sending it on. McMullin had to make the stop. He got back just in the nick of time. Gannett sending it off the glass. That'll find its way out of play. We'll get a stoppage here with just 8.3 ticks left on the clock. But a great scoring chance, and none better, Paul, than Bernier's snapshot off the iron.
I just recently had said that the Ramparts were doing a good job picking the players up in front of the net. They left Bernier alone there, and he was able to get a nice shot off the net, rung it off the right side of the post. Bernier left all alone. You have to come out, and you have to play a man-to-man when you're down that deep in your own zone.
Puck down, the Mooseheads looking for one final shot. Gannett, cross-check to the ice, no call from Tamander, and the buzzer sounds, and a very entertaining first period here tonight from the Halifax Metro Center. Nothing in the goal-scoring department, but lots of chances and a good crowd on hand for this hockey game here this evening.
Well, after all the rough stuff here on Wednesday evening, a great start to this hockey game. One fight, Ladare and Preston, of course. But a good hockey game for both teams. A good start for the Remparts, losing last night in Cape Breton, able to come here and shut down the Halifax Mooseheads through the first period of play. Mooseheads, on the other hand, were able to generate some good scoring chances against the Remparts, but were just unable to quite put the puck in behind McMullin. So some good positives for both teams in that first period.
And it was Bernier ringing one off the post in the final minute of that first period. And the goaltender was beat on the play. No score here from the Halifax Metro Center. Eastlink is your truly maritime communications and entertainment supplier. You are watching Eastlink Television right here at home.
Welcome back, everyone. Dan Robertson in studio, and we're joined now by Michael Couch, a defenseman with the Halifax Mooseheads. Mike, talk about the first period. A pretty good pace of play out there.
Yeah, we expected that. I know up there in Quebec they beat us twice already this year, so we had a game plan to come in and frustrate them, give them no space, similar to the one in Bakemo there the other night. So I think we're doing a pretty good job so far. We just got to make sure we keep our energy up and keep it going. You
mentioned that Bakemo game. Just a quick question about that. Was there any talk of it today? Did Sean McKenzie say, let's just forget about that and get back to regular hockey? What did he say?
Well, you know, it's one of those things that it's either going to make you stronger as a hockey club or make you weaker, and we're looking as a positive. We know that everybody's sticking up for each other, and we think we're a better hockey club for it now. Everybody knows that everybody's pulling in the same direction. We know what this team can accomplish, and other than that, it was basically use it as momentum to fuel the fire. I mean, it was an emotional game, but we got to make sure that we don't dwell on it because we got a tough opponent tonight.
And you've dropped the gloves a few times this year. Is that something you're adding a bit more to this season to sort of help out with the team toughness, would you say?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't quite my forte my first year, but over the last couple of years, I learned to stick up for my teammates and myself and not to get pushed around. You know, being the size I am, I take it upon myself to be more of a leader on this hockey club, and that's one way to do it.
Well, Mike, thanks for this. Good luck in the second period.
Thanks very much, guys.
And that is Mike Couch of the Halifax Mooseheads. We're joined now by our studio analyst, Tim Cranston, former Quebec League star, longtime European pro, and now a mentor for a lot of young hockey players. And Tim, what are your thoughts on the first period?
Well, it was a lot different than the other night. I thought this game tonight, it shows the sort of technical ability of a team like Quebec, and the game is far more structured in terms of the chippiness is not there so much, and you're seeing a lot more technical game, a lot of skill out on the ice, a lot of size, speed. Very interesting.
Now, you've seen a lot more hockey than I have and played a lot. Have you seen anything? I don't want to drag on and go on about Wednesday night too much. Have you seen much of that in your career where 10.5 minutes to go, the bench is empty for Bakemo?
Well, to be honest, I have seen it a few times, but then again, it's not the norm. But type of game like that, things happen. People are trying to, obviously Bakemo was trying to make a statement there with that process, what they were doing out there, and it really cost them in the end. The team to play with being able to make a change with 10 minutes left didn't look good on them.
I want to talk about the Remparts for a minute. Again, they're hosting the Memorial Cup next spring. They got off to a rough start, which I think surprised some people. They have a lot of talent on this roster, but with a couple of trades, this could be a very strong team.
That's right. I think that the early start, bad start with Quebec, was really blown out of proportion in the sense that I think the team was playing pretty good hockey, but probably some pressure, the fact that it's Memorial Cup year, this is the team, and if you don't produce, you're on the way, and I think that bared down on some of the players, but I think they've settled down now and are playing good hockey. But like you say, with a few trades, you know, you could really see the dimension of this club, and whether or not the trades that are rumored happened. You know, if you look at them trying to reinforce their goaltending situation, possible impact forward, whether it's a type of player, 20-year-old like McRae and Cape Breton, those types, this team would be quite formidable, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk about maybe the prospect of being, say you're on the Quebec Remparts team, and you know that you could be a guy who could be traded. It's got to be tough on a young hockey player's mind, I would think.
For sure. It's something that it's going to be on the back of your mind, but on the same level, it's one of those things that whoever steps up to the plate and shows that they want to be there, for sure, they're going to be the person that stays. And so you've got no choice but to put it all on the line, practice, game, and show them that you want to be in the big show come the Memorial Cup. And I think that's what will happen. And as they say, the strong will survive.
Thanks for that, Tim. We'll have Tim Cranston back in our second intermission for analysis on the first 2 periods of play. When we come back, we'll speak with Quebec Rampart Robert Pierce. Stay with us. You're watching Quebec Major Junior Hockey League action on Eastlink Television right here at home. We're scoreless at the intermission between the Halifax Mooseheads and Quebec Remparts. Dan Robertson with you here in our studio, and we're joined now by injured Quebec Rampart forward Robert Pierce, a good Fredericton boy. And Robert, what did you think of that first period?
Well, it was kind of a period where both teams are just feeling each other out, playing, not trying to make that maybe offensive chance or looking for more of the safe play. But I think the next couple periods we could see more offensive chances, people taking more chances offensively.
It was well documented that your team got off to a slow start, and we talked with your head coach before the game about that. How did things get turned around, and was there a lot of pressure on you guys?
Well, with the Memorial Cup, obviously we're going to have some pressure put on us, but our teams tried to focus just on our task ahead of us. With that bad start, it made us all come together, and we found a way to win. With all the media giving us a hard time, we just put that behind us, and I think it made us come together. Our team's pretty close now.
And you have a lot of veteran players, a lot of 19-year-olds and some key 20-year-old guys. I would imagine a lot of good leadership in that dressing room.
Yeah, there's any given night, there's a different leader that steps up. It's not just the players we've named for assistant captain. Each player has a role, and we seem to be following our objectives lately.
Last year, Guy Schwinnard, of course, Eric's dad, was let go by the club. He, I believe, was the most winningest coach in the Quebec League history. What's the change been like from Schwinnard to Levine?
Teams, from my point of view, it's a good change. The management figured we should change and go in that direction, and as a player, all the players have a lot of respect for both Guy and Eric, and we just come out every night and play for whoever's behind the bench.
You have a shoulder problem. When do you hope to be back?
It's day-to-day as of now. Hopefully next week. We don't play till the following Friday, so it should be. That's my objective for that.
We appreciate you doing this. Good job, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks.
That is Robert Pierce of the Quebec Remparts, who are tied right now with the Halifax Mooseheads. 0-0 after 1 period of play. We'll be right back. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Welcome back, everyone. We're scoreless in the first intermission between the Halifax Mooseheads and the Quebec Remparts. We'd like to remind you to call our viewer response line at 1-888-354-8439. Call us and tell us what you think about what you see here on Eastlink Television. In our last Eastlink broadcast, at least out of here at the Metro Center, we took a closer look at Brandon Benedict. Now we're going to go back in time and ask some questions to his mother, Sharon, about his career. And we did this from Brandon's parents' home. Let's take a look at that now.
Here's when he went to Dalhousie Summer Hockey League. He got MVP. Oh, and he got a lot, and there's some of his ball trophies he got over this here. Brandon is the youngest of 5 boys. When you set ice, he was there. You know, no matter how far he had to travel, he would be there, right? They all played, yes, and he'd go watch them play. And he took an interest in their hockey, so I think that's why he wanted to start too, because he wanted to be like them, I guess. He was 7 when he went and played on a team representing Nova Scotia, and all the boys were 8 and he was 7. Boys from Halifax like Robbie Sutherland and PJ Lynch, and then Stevie Wynot from the Valley, and I think that's you know, probably the first time he played organized hockey. I remember he went to a tournament down in Lordstown, and he got 2 MVP hats, so he gave one to one of the other little players. because he really did need two. He said, so he gave one to one little guy. So I thought that was good of him. I think they all respected him. Yeah, looked up to him. Yeah, but he always was just like the other players. He didn't put himself above the other players. He just, as I said, played his game and did what he had to, and he liked to, pass the puck, and he had the guy score, and he enjoyed it all the way around. Probably over in PEI when he played for the Atlantics. I think that's when I was the proudest of him. He did his, he really did well. He would think, well, if he gets assists, that's just as good as a goal, because you get a point for each. So he would. If some guy had a chance to score, he'd pass it over to them, and they'd try to put it in the net. But he was captain of the Warriors team in Hants West, and then he was the captain of the Kings Itcho team, and I was the captain of the Mooseheads. So being captains of the other teams, they did win the championship, so maybe the Mooseheads might go and do the same thing.
And I can recall, I talked to Brandon about this. I used to play ball against his brother Sheldon. He was a very good ball player way back in the Stone Age. We want to remind you that this game, as all our games are, is broadcast on the internet at www.eastlink.ca. You can find it through there, and tell your friends who can't see us on TV to tune into that. Our next live broadcast is next Friday night from Sydney. It's Centre 200. The Cape Breton Screaming Eagles playing host to the Drummondville Voltigeur, and that game starts at 7:30. We'd like to remind you that you're watching this game throughout Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island on Eastlink's fiber optic network, easy for me to say, and to remind you to give us a call on our viewer response line, 888-354-8439, to tell us what you think. Time now for the highlights from the first period.
Period by both teams, and A.J. McLean started that. Now watch Cabana finish it with a nice shot on net. McMullin with one of many good saves that he had during that first period of play. Great work by the 16-year-old. Again, Jonathan Boutin not tested very much in this first period, but he came up big when he had to. Big rebound, but his team was able to clear it. Another shot on that by the Mooseheads. Gannett takes the puck in deep, puts it out in front. Gannett puts it into the skates of Sear and Vrana, and no real scoring chance. And here's one off the post by Marc-Andre Bernier. He beat McMullin, but he didn't put it over the goal line, so no goal.
You can see him start to raise that right hand as we look at the scoring summary. Obviously, there were no goals to report. Shots 11-6 in favor of the Halifax Mooseheads, and certainly a territorial advantage, Paul, for the Halifax Mooseheads in that opening 20 minutes.
Again, when the Mooseheads had good scoring chances, it was when there was defensive breakdowns by the Rampart defensemen and forwards. Usually they had, for the most part, they had a strong defensive period. A couple good scoring chances. That just shows me, if I'm the coaching staff of the Ramparts, I cannot let anybody go in my own zone with the great power and scoring ability that the Mooseheads have.
McMullin and Boutin, the two goaltenders here in tonight's matchup from the Metro Center, as they change ends and we get set for period two. The ice has been resurfaced, and a very entertaining opening 20 minutes. And we'll see if the Mooseheads and the Rampart can perhaps get some offense in the second period. Quebec able to win the faceoff, and it's sent in around the boards by defenseman Carl St. Pierre. And it'll travel all the way down the ice. They'll wave off the icing as McMullin sets it up. Bourgogne for Quebec. Pass on the right wing side off the boards and all the way inside the Moosehead line. Boutin let it go as Josh Hennessy crashes into the goal. Boutin just getting out of the way. We'll have a face-off inside the Moosehead line.
This is a big game for the Mooseheads. Even though they currently have 13 wins, 4 losses, 5 ties, and 2 overtime losses, they haven't beat this team yet. They played them twice. They've lost once in overtime, and they lost in regulation time. Josh Hennessy going hard for the net, native of Rockland, Massachusetts. 40 points last year, 25 so far in the first third of this season for the Ramparts.
Another face-off win for the Mooseheads, and they'll turn it up ice as F.P. Gannett now will slide it rink wide. Nobody home for the Mooseheads on the near side, and Quebec will ring it off the boards. Can't clear it, though, as Sear Waits patiently, taken out of the play. Brandon, nice pass, Gannett. Slid it through the blue paint. And couldn't get it on goal. McMullin will let that roll through. And it's Quebec. Bolduc sending the pass all the way down the ice. We're going to have another icing call here against Quebec. Is that the pass, an errant one, and will face off inside the Rampart line.
Now, the first game they played back in October, 2-1 in favor of the Remparts in overtime. The first goal of that game was not scored until the 17:55 mark of the third period. This game seems to be going along the same lines as that hockey game.
In an offensive zone face-off for the Mooseheads, and it's cleared out by Quebec. And it's Randy Upshaw. He'll travel back inside his own blue line. There's Jimmy Sherrill looking to slow up Jason Constantine. And here come the Halifax Mooseheads attacking now through center ice. There's Verana with a pinpoint pass for Gannett. It rolls off the end of his stick. Bolduc can't reach it. Here's Sear in front. Gannett shot, and he just missed as he went over top of McMullin. Yes, he had the whole top side, but he couldn't keep it in play.
Gannett left all alone again, Ken, but if you look just to the left after he took the shot, there were 3 Rempart players here. A defenseman and 2 forwards. They have to come out and they have to tie the man up. If you're putting the man in deep, it's easy, but you have to recognize the forward pattern, the patterns in the offense of the other team. Halifax are keeping guys high in the slot. Quebec have to realize that.
Puck cleared around the boards again as David Massey on the near side can't move it outside the line. Halifax now will send it right back in. Here's Marc-Andre Bernier. Runs into trouble there, lost control of the puck. And it's Quebec looking to start out. There's the pass for Massey, the dangerous David Massey, the leading goal scorer here for the Quebec Rempart. 17 goals, 15 assists for 32 points.
Hennessy with a good scoring chance there. Looking for his 10th goal on the season. Boutin able to put the big glove up and make the save. A nice little touch pass. Upshaw guilty of perhaps taking the wrong man without the puck. But nice work by Boutin in the Halifax net.
Brandon Benedict now will push it ahead. Marc-Andre Bernier will race him. Bourgogne stayed with him. And it's sent around the dasher. Benedict stepped into his man. Carl St. Pierre, and it's Massey on the backhand rolling it back inside the Moosehead blue line. Ursina now skates back, and he'll drop it back for Thatcher Bell. He'll return the favor now to Ursina. And we'll see if the big line can get rolling here for the Mooseheads. Bernier got tied up with Benedict. And it's Marc-Andre Bernier in over the line for Thatcher Bell. He'll go link wide. Benedict can't play the hop off the boards. And back comes Sean Collymore. Collymore down the side. The shot. Save made by Boutin. As Collymore cut in. And Boutin stayed with it. Back the other way. Benedict looking to set up Bell. That play was spoiled by the Rampart defenseman. And back comes Quebec. Through center now as the pace quickens in period number 2. Both teams looking for the first goal of the hockey game. Picard will touch up, and we'll have a penalty called here. It's going to go to the Mooseheads, an interference call. And a chance here, Paul, for Quebec to tee it up on the power play.
Looks like Kyle Doucette's going to go to the penalty box. The rookie who started the season with the Halifax McDonald's takes the first minor penalty of this hockey game, giving the Quebec Remparts an opportunity to go on their first power play opportunity. In the the infraction just occurs in the middle of your screen as number 71 Collymore was taken to the ice by number 16 Kyle Doucette. And the power play record for the Remparts going at 18.2% this year.
Well, we know the Mooseheads were 500 the other night against the Big Camo. They had all kinds of opportunities, 6 for 12. We'll see how the PK is here tonight as Quebec look for the first goal of the night. Here's a sophomore forward, Josh Hennessy, the 17-year-old. Great skills, back to the line. St. Pierre's shot is blocked, and the rebound cleared out by the Halifax Mooseheads. McMullin quickly ahead for Beaucheté. He'll pass it through, and it's going to be called on the 2-line pass, so they'll come back inside the line. As this power play continues for the Quebec Rempart.
Power penalty kill record for the Mooseheads. We see 24 games played. They've only allowed 16 goals on 112 opportunities, good for 85.7%. And that is currently third overall in the league.
Racing up will be St. Pierre. He over skates it. He'll have to turn back. Now it's Beauchet. There's the pass. And it's cleared in by Beaucheté off the glass. It comes to rest in the back of the goal. Boutin jumps out and pulls it in. And the Mooseheads will be content in getting a face-off inside their own line. Power play so far has been stalled here for the Ramparts.
Minute and 16 seconds left in the power play for the Quebec Remparts. Gilbert playing tonight again, playing very strong on defense for the Mooseheads.
Puck is controlled by Quebec. Josh Hennessy, the backhand pass for Timothy Shishkinov. Here's Hennessy. He'll leave it for Shishkinov, the Nashville Predator draft pick. Circling David Massey. Massey now. There's the pass back to the blue line. Beaulieu. Now Massey will control it for Quebec as finally they work it around the perimeter. There's the pass. Massey got a stick on it. Halifax can't clear. Hennessy turns away from trouble. Now for Beaulieu. Back to Josh Hennessy. He'll load up. The shot goes wide. As Beaulieu unable to keep the puck in, and A.J. McLean, 2 shorthanded goals this season for the Halifax Mooseheads, able to send it in deep for the Mooseheads. Here comes the Beaulieu, the pass across for Hennessy. He'll play it ahead. Shishkinov play with the Central Red Army, of course, following that number 20 that we all know who wore that for the Red Army.
Just as everyone in Canada and North America wears 99, number 20 is the big number over in Russia, and of course that was Tretjak's number.
Collymore faked the shot. There's the pass across to Shishkinov. Scores! What a beauty feed. Collymore and Shishkinov finished it off. It's a power play goal.
Just as we had mentioned earlier, Shishkinov can put the puck in the net. He goes to the open side when you only have 4 guys on the ice. It's hard to cover 5 people. Shishkinov will be to the left of your screen. The play develops from the right. A nice little drop pass. Shishkinov left all alone, wide open net. Boutin committed to the shot, and he was out of position. But you have to do that. You have to commit to the shot and try to make the first save.
So back they come to center ice. The Mooseheads trailing 1-0 as Quebec strikes on the power play. Is Sebastian Morgan. He turned it over at center, and Brandon Benedict that will feed it ahead for Thatcher Bell. Thatcher Bell looking to get things turned on offensively. Here's Bernier stealing. McMullin caught out of the goal, wandering, but nothing comes of it. And it's Quebec now. Here's a giveaway. Bernier walks in, high slot, now the backhand. Save made with the paddle. And we'll have a penalty called here against the Quebec Remparts as they lead the hockey game 1-0. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Mooseheads will line up with Thatcher Bell, Brandon Benedict. Up front, along with Marc-Andre Bernier. Back on the blue line, it'll be Picard and Yersina as Bernier is knocked off the puck, and Quebec will send it all the way down the ice. Halifax forced to regroup here in this power play chance. Minute and 40 left on the clock on this Halifax power play. Here comes Yersina. 8 power play goals this season for the Mooseheads. Here's Benedict now. He'll race in as he looks to take the puck away from St. Pierre and Donaldson. Thatcher Bell in the slot, intercepted. And back comes the Quebec Rampart. Prepared. Looking to slow up the Ramparts. And finally, Quebec are back at their own blue line. Halifax unable to get much set up here in this power play. Winding down. As Quebec will force Halifax back inside the line once again. Boutin wanders out of the goal. He'll send it around on the near side for Verena. He'll back it up now for Picard. Verena once again drops it there. And it's Picard sending it across. Pat Gilbert now into the opposite corner. Verena won't reach it, but here's Gannett. FP Gannett in front. One-timer, Gilbert fan on it. He was wide open. And I mean wide open. Cheryl, nice pass across. Verena. Gilbert, shot, and it goes wide off the backboards. Halifax can't control. They'll get it back as Sear is pushed off. Now Verena once again. Peter Verena for FP Gannett. Quebec struck on the power play. The Mooseheads looking to do the same as Jimmy Sherrill can't play the puck. Gilbert now will circle for Halifax. The pass for Verena. They crisscross at the line. Sear one shot. And that's stopped by McMullin. Verena to the corner for Gannett. Gannett now looks to circle. Still with it. There's the shot. Save. Big rebound. Backhand shot. Still loose in the crease. Penalty over. Yeah, the Mooseheads come awfully close there, but McMullin equal to the task. Here's Verena shot. Rebound again. Off to the side of the crease. Finally, McMullin pounces on a loose puck as Cyr could not put it in back of goaltender Benji McMullin.
Some great work by Beaucheté, the defenseman wearing number 28 for the Remparts. He effectively tied up Jean-Francois Cyr. It'll come to the right of your screen at the right of the net. There's Beaucheté, goes to the man. There's nothing that Cyr could do. A great play by the defenseman for the Remparts. McMullin made the save and covered up, giving his team a chance to make full and wholesale changes.
A.J. McLean, Jordy Preston, and Jonathan LaBelle there as McLean gets the elbows up. No call from Commander. Shishkinov knocked to the ice. Here's Hennessy. Shot, he scores! Hennessy used Massey as a decoy, and he beats Boutin on the short side. 2-0. Quebec on top.
Some great work by the Remparts as Hennessy comes in on the left side, and again, as Thatcher Bell tried in the first period, he tried to go for the blocker side, the short side. And as any good goal scorer can do, he can pick the corner. Number 9, Josh Hennessy, picks up his 10th goal of the season, halfway to last year's total, in which he scored 20 goals for this Quebec Rempart team.
Well, on that replay, Paul, it looked like Jonathan Boutin was a bit undecided whether to play the shooter or maybe the pass, and he got caught in between, and Hennessy made him pay the price dearly. 2-0 lead now. Quebec on top. We'll see how the Mooseheads respond here in this middle period. Quebec circling, lots of pressure now. And finally, it's picked up by Halifax. They get as far as center, and they're turned back once again. Chance now for Randy Upshaw. Mike wide, Ursina's pass intercepted. Here's Collymore now. Collymore snapped one on goal. Boutin pulls it in for Halifax. They trail in the hockey game 2-0 hit from the Metro Center. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. There's a shot again, just missed as Boutin went down. Puck missed the goal, and the Mooseheads force the puck back to center ice. Hircheby sends it ahead for Berube. Jimmy Shiro now skating back, lost an edge, fell to the ice, and it's Quebec jumping on the loose puck. They lead 2-0. Constantine sends it into the corner. Michael Couch. And once again, Constantine to the corner. Berube circling away. Nice pass, shot, they score! Bourgogne in off the blue line, picked the top corner. 3-0, Quebec leading the hockey game.
Bourgogne just comes in. He sees that the forward of the Mooseheads is more concerned with the puck in the corner than he is with Bourgogne, and that is your man if you're the high winger. And watch the pass across, and Bourgogne will pick it up. Goes right by the defenseman and the winger, and he picks up the third goal here in the last 4 minutes, and it's been all Quebec Remparts here on the road.
Well, thus far in the hockey game, Paul, the Mooseheads did have some scoring chances, but it looks like they're not playing with that emotion and grit, and their defensive play usually pretty good. Not so good tonight, and head coach Sean McKenzie will take this opportunity to call a timeout, and he'll try to set his team back on the straight and narrow here, trailing 3-0 in the hockey game.
Well, again, Quebec with a great first period of play kept the Mooseheads off the scoreboard. Mooseheads have been known this year at home to have great first periods of hockey. McKenzie going over where you have to play, and I'm sure he's talking about how Bourgogne can come in off the point and get a pass without somebody picking him up, and that's exactly what he's talking about now. You have to pick your man up in your own zone. Worry about your own zone, get out, and then you worry about scoring. And that's something they're going to get back to in this next little bit. Defensive scoring, Sebastian Bourgogne now has 3 goals. Milan Ursina, 8 goals for the Mooseheads. 7 of those goals on the power play.
Well, we'll see what that timeout does for this Halifax Moosehead Hockey Club. Another large crowd tonight at the Metro Center. Not much to cheer about so far. If you're cheering for the Mooseheads, they find themselves trailing 3-0. Quebec coming off a 6-5 loss and really a poor performance last night. They only gave up 18 shots. Cape Breton scored 6 goals. So you knew, Paul, that the coaching staff from the Remparts would have this club ready to go tonight.
Well, you cannot go into Cape Breton without, Cape Breton has some good firepower, so you have to be ready for them. They're not the weak sister.
Peter Brandon now will send it around the boards on the near side. Skating to it will be FP Gannett. The Mooseheads a bit unorganized here as Gannett finally will lead the attack and start out for Halifax. They turn it over, and Massey will simply clear it in for the Quebec Remparts, leading 3-0. Verena now way too high as he'll come back inside the line. Upshaw for Jean-Francois Cyr. Cyr to the backhand. Now the pass across. Massey stepped in front of it. And Gannett fishing for it. Couldn't reach it. And it's Josh Hennessy for Tommy Bolduc. Bolduc off the sideboards. Shishkinov will leave it go through him. Peter Verena will slide it across for Randy Upshaw. Link wide for Yersina. It's not a good pass, and Quebec once again taking over at center ice. Josh Hennessy again. Halifax push it ahead. Verena for Gannett. Gannett tied up by Bolduc. And it's McMullin now setting it up for Didier Beaucheté. Long lead pass for David Massey. He'll step over center and clear it in. Beauchet now in on the puck for Quebec. Thatcher Bell, though, stepped in front of him. And Bell expected to lead this hockey club offensively, and they need him to step to the forefront now, trailing 3-0. Here's Benedict racing to the loose puck. McMullin won that battle easily, and it's Benedict to the line. Picard, one-timer, save made, rebound. As Bernier could not get the stick free, as Bell sent head first into the sideboards. Another penalty going to be called here against Quebec. So another opportunity here, Paul, for Halifax on the power play.
Well, if you're Quebec, you simply do not want to give Halifax chances to get on the power play. They've gone at an 80% or 20% clip. But quickly recapping the 3 goals, Shishkinov 438, Hennessy at 727, Bourgogne at 833 has made it 3-0 for Quebec. There's the penalty just at the right of your screen after a nice low shot on the net by Alexander Picard. So 0 for 1 on the power play with 3 shots this evening for the Mooseheads. They look to get on the board.
Face-off will be to the left of McMullin. Control by the Quebec Remparts. And it's Marc-Andre Bernier looking to step up and steal, but underneath the pile, the captain Benedict with the puck. And we'll get a stoppage in play.
Again, look for the Mooseheads to try to work that puck back. The big number 3 on the point, Milan Yersina. He's got a big, heavy shot. And if he gets a chance to put that puck on the net, more often than not, he can do some damage. As I mentioned 2 or 3 times earlier, he scored 7 goals on the power play this year for the Halifax Mooseheads.
Face off again inside the Quebec line. Controlled by Quebec. Kept in, though. A good play by Milan Yersina. And Halifax. Get it back to Yersina. Shot. Gloved by McMullin. Benji McMullin gambling there. Came out and got the puck before it got to him. And he's able to hold on to it.
Okay, Halifax have to start putting some pressure on in front of the net. And usually they do. They're very strong at doing that. Now they try to keep tonight it looks like they're taking somebody from the corner looking for a rebound and trying to get there just as the rebound gets off the pads of McMullin. They have to put a presence in front of McMullin and try to get him to make a bad save and put a bad rebound out in front of him in the slot.
Can Halifax win the draw? There's the shot right on McMullin. The save, rebound loose to the right side, and it's picked up by Berube as he slaps it down the ice. As this power play continues here for the Mooseheads, as they'll set up deep inside their own blue line. They need the offense desperately, trailing 3-0, and certainly not going out on a limb saying that the Mooseheads need to score next.
Well, they're down 3-0. They have to put the puck in the net here at home, something they've been very successful in doing so far this season.
Here's Bell now, circles to the corner, comes out, the pass, Benedict waiting to load up, but it was intercepted. Great play by Shishkinov. Out on this penalty kill for the Quebec Remparts. Here's Thatcher Bell now. Looking to gear it up here for the Mooseheads. 45 seconds left. Bell looking to do it on his own, lost control. Here's Yersina, long shot, stopped by Tommy Bolduc. Gannett will slip it ahead for Verena. Verena with control. Nice pass across. Verena will get it back again. Into the circle. Shot. Save made. Big rebound. Bouncing in front. They knock it through the crease and just wide. Play kept alive. Gannett. Nice pass. Shooter shot, and he just missed. Cyr now will pick it up off the end boards. Yersina faked it. Verena one-timer. Deflected just wide. Mooseheads continue. They can't keep this one in. No, they had some chances, but it hit a stick, hit a leg, hit something in front. Can't beat goaltender McMullin so far. Power play is over. The Mooseheads 0 for 2 of the hockey game tonight.
Good chances in that power play opportunity, though, Ken. Some good positives if you're the Mooseheads, and try to build on that and try to get one before the end of this second period.
Shishkinov gave it away. Shear cruising down the right side. Sent it across, and McLean couldn't pull it up to his stick. Here's Gannett in front. Shot there. Upshaw. Great save. Rebound again. Another stop. They poke away at it. Finally in the crease, McMullin able to get to it. The Mooseheads unable to beat McMullin tonight. 3-0 Quebec on top. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Back to the action here. The Mooseheads have got to be scratching their head, Paul. Great scoring chances, but so far nothing to show for it.
Again, usually Quebec will give up that first shot and then try to go to a man-to-man defensive system in their own zone. It seems to be working. Halifax, with their good speed, I think it'll just be a matter of time before they put one in the net.
Looking to set it up again. Kyle Doucette down the far side. Hit by Beaulieu. Loose side of the goal again. They can't put it by McMullin. Another diving stop by the lanky goaltender tonight for the Quebec Remparts. Michael Couch couldn't keep the puck in at the blue line. And Boutin, given instructions by Couch, he'll play it ahead. Michael Couch now will ring it off the glass and outside the line. Here's the St. Pierre, bodied there by Doucette. Thatcher Bell now stepped into his man. And it's Quebec on the loose puck in the neutral zone. Bourrier will send it across for St. Pierre, looking to feed Collymore. Here's Montgomery. He's been quiet in the hockey game here this evening. Chris Montgomery, first coming over in the trade that sent Corey Urquhart to the Montreal Rocket. And Montgomery coming back to play for the Quebec Remparts.
Now we've got a good look at Michael Coach, defenseman. A good stay-at-home defenseman for the Mooseheads. A big player, 6'4", 200 pounds. Now lives in Bedford, Nova Scotia. 15 points last year, 3 so far this year. But he's playing strong defensively for the Halifax Mooseheads.
Pat Gilbert, head up, and he'll move it up ice. There's the neat pass for McLean. McLean the shot. And again, McMullin makes the save. He wonders where the rebound is, but it's off the stick into the corner. Gilbert again. This time he won't get a chance to play it. As Montgomery leaves it there. But it's called on the offside as Fauché had a man trapped.
Alexander Picard has 10 points on the season, or 11 points on the season, all assists. He's a big hockey player as well, 6'2", 207 pounds. He's a very solid defenseman. Again, 1 of 6 that the Mooseheads have here this year, and they can put anybody on the ice and play solidly against any team in this league, and they've proven that so far this year.
Vrana in the middle with Sear on the right side, and Gannett on the left side for Halifax. It'll be Montgomery, Fauché, and Collymore as he hopped around that check. Centering pass, they score! Off somebody in front through the 5-hole. And it seems everything the Ramparts shoot towards the goal goes in. The Mooseheads can't buy one at the other end. 4-0, Quebec on top.
Collymore just had the puck deep in the zone. He just threw it out in front, and I believe it went in off of one of the Halifax players. And we'll get a good look at it here. As Collymore took the hard hit from Ursina and then followed up. Ursina took himself out of the play, tried to get back in. Perhaps Ursina tipped that in behind Boutin, but good play by Collymore. Put the puck in front of the net and see what happens.
Well, it could have been Ursina. It could have been Peter Vrana or F.P. Gannett. One of those three. It definitely hit their stick, but Collymore able to keep the legs moving, even though the big Slovakian defenseman Ursina hit him hard along the boards. Good second effort by Collymore. Back comes Gannett. Centering pass blocked by the Rampart defender. And it's sent back outside the line for Jimmy Sherrill. Sherrill, great offensive skill. See if he can get something going for Halifax. Now trailing 4-0 here in the middle period. As Sherrill off the sideboards. Gannett now will have to travel back. He'll send it across. Almost intercepted. Upshaw will turn away from the forecheck off Constantine. Quebec now confidence growing, and they are forcing the Mooseheads into mistakes. Paul, you normally don't see this hockey club make defensively.
Well, again, Mooseheads not really used to playing from behind so far this year. This could be a good test for them. Let's see what their character is made of here in the last 25 minutes of this hockey game.
Here's Thatcher Bell. He dances in over the line. Bell will hang on to it. Benedict waiting. Bell will wrap it around. There's the pass. Bernier trying to knuckle ball, and McMullin knocked it down with the big trapper. Bernier now along the sideboards. Ursina jumping up on the rush. Here's Benedict. He'll skate to the loose puck for Halifax. Again, circles away from the pressure. Here's Benedict wheeling with the puck down low. He'll circle again. Benedict, the pass for Bill. Shot, bad angle, save made McMullin. And then the rebound is cleared by Quebec. Shots 28-14 in favor of the Halifax Mooseheads, but it's 4-0. Quebec in the lead as Boutin now will pull that in and slow the play down. And they'll get a face-off with Halifax trailing 4-0 from the Metro Center. You're watching East League Television right here at home. Face-off done unfairly, so they'll line up once again inside the Moosehead line, Paul. And we've said it throughout the broadcast that the Mooseheads have had chances. They just can't get it by McMullin, and he doesn't look to be doing anything special. He's getting some help from the D and making that initial stop.
We just have to look back. Bernier had a good scoring chance there. The puck was just off his stick, and it was into a knuckleball effect. If that puck was 2 feet back, it was on his stick, and he had a nice hard scoring chance.
Cabana looked to slash the puck outside the line, couldn't. Yeah, the Mooseheads will set up once again. Kyle Doucette now down the far side, wrapped up by Beaulieu, following up Cabana. Cabana looks to cut in front. Doucette can't get a stick on it. Picard shot, and McMullin, who could see it all the way. The sight line's clear, and the glove stop made by McMullin.
Some great work again by the Rempart players in their own zone. They picked up a player without the puck. A couple times in the first period, they were guilty of leaving somebody alone in the slot area. Nobody in front of McMullin. He's able to make that save and cover up very easily.
Face off deep inside the Rampart line. Halifax pushed it to the end boards. And it's Cabana. Tripped up on the play, Doucette. And it's Verena. Doucette now out on this line with Verena and Cabana. Sounds like a song as they circle inside the line. Looking for some offense. And finally the puck lifted back inside the Mooseheads line. Jimmy Sherrill riding back. Banks it off the boards for Upshaw. Penalty coming up here to Quebec. Another power play chance for Halifax. In over the line comes Cabana. On the backhand, Cabana kept to the outside. And Halifax get the extra attacker. Bell, Upshaw. Holy smokes, what a stop. McMullin stacked the pads and robbed them with the glove. Set up beautifully. Randy Upshaw's got to be scratching and shaking his head.
Smart play by Upshaw. You know, a penalty's being called. Jump into the play. As soon as Quebec touches the puck, the whistle will be blown. So he's down deep in the zone. Nobody picks him up. He'll be over to the left, and the puck will work its way over as Benedict throws it over in front. Upshaw, a nice one-timer and a great save again by McMullin as he makes his 30th save of this evening.
Thatcher Bell will line up in this face-off Moosehead power play. Here's Sherrill, faked it, dished it across. Ursina snapped it wide on the glove side. Rebound controlled by Sherrill. He'll send it in around the boards. Thatcher Bell and Benedict come up with it. Benedict now looks to stuff it home. Another shot to the crease. They hit the post. Bernier once again. Sherrill now, no shot. So Benedict will try. He put it right through the blue paint. Halifax continue on here. Bernier for Bell. Bell and shot again. Big rebound. McMullin down and made the save as Bernier for Ursina. Ursina into the circle. The Mooseheads work it. Bell open at the side. There's the shot. And he just missed on the wide side. Bernier once again will set it up for Benedict. Benedict looks to walk out. And it's picked up by Shishkinov, and he'll send it down the ice. And Quebec make changes. Thatcher Bell now on the rush with Jean-Francois Cyr. Bell looking to do it himself. Beauchete took it away, and his backhand pass will find its way inside the Moosehead blue line. Goodness, the Mooseheads can't beat McMullin here tonight. He's stopped everything that's come his way. None better than the one on Randy Upshaw. 2 goal posts and a whole lot of scoring chances. Mooseheads with nothing to show. Power play continuing. Ursina pasting his man along the Quebec bench. Here's Verena now. He'll turn it up for the Mooseheads. 25 seconds left in the power play. Verena for Cyr. Cyr waiting now to set it up. In deep for Verena. Back to the line. Picard faked the shot. Here's Gilbert right side. Now he'll work it back to the left side. Picard, Cyr in the slot. The shot, the save. Rebound again. Back to Picard. Shine, that's off a skate and sent to the corner. Penalty winding down. So is in this second period. Again, the Mooseheads can't score on the power play. 0 for 3 so far in the hockey game. Icing waved off here against Halifax. Bolduc can't clear it. Gilbert's shot did not get through to McMullin. And it's Josh Hennessy down the right wing. Hennessy looking to stick handle in over the line. Lost it. Here's Massey. Hennessy shot. Good stop by goaltender Jonathan Boutin. Back to the line. St. Pierre pulled the trigger. That shot was blocked. Michael Couch took the hit along the boards. The pass made ahead. And the Mooseheads push it ahead inside the Quebec line. Carl St. Pierre with some time. He'll ring it off the boards. Hopped over the stick of Michael Couch, and Massey into forecheck for Quebec. Chance now for Quebec. They can't center. As Jonathan LaVille hustling over Hennessy. Breaks that play out. Period just about ended. And it will come to an end. 4-0 here from the Halifax Metro Center after 40 minutes. And if you were looking at the shots on goal, Paul, 34-16 Halifax. But McMullin has been brilliant here tonight. Halifax trailing 4-0. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home.
The Halifax Adam AAA Hawks are strong on defense this year. A major reason is Ian Sabb. The 10-year-old Halifax native is in his final year of Adam and is off to a good start this year.
I think that Ian is an exceptional skater and has very good visual skills in terms of where the ice is, and a good passer. But I think it would be his skating probably and his defensive play. He's an excellent, very seldom will get beaten one-on-one, and stands up on the blue line and sort of is exceptionally defensively. Offensively, he's also gifted, but I think that probably his defensive play is what's strongest.
Although strong at both ends of the ice, Ian likes to take care of things in his own end first. The grade 5 student at St. Stephen Elementary debuted on skates at age 2. His favorite NHLer is Al McGuinness. Another of Ian's attributes is his coachability.
He listens very well, so he's coachable, which is, I think, important. And he's a nice child, and you know, the whole team gets along with him. He was the captain last year. We haven't picked a captain this year yet, but he's certainly one of the candidates.
We'll leave the last word to Ian, who tells us what he likes best about the game of hockey.
You get to play hard, you get to be physical, and you get to score. Everybody comes to the games and everybody cheers you on.
Ian Sabb, an Eastlink shooting star. There's Ian Sabb and one of his coaches, Dave Bluetoe, and talked with Kevin Cameron, the president of the Mooseheads, before the game, and he said Ian is probably the best at his position for his age group in Nova Scotia. Tim, the Mooseheads could use a shooting star or two out there, but McMullin, great in nets tonight for Quebec.
Yeah, that's the difference right now. The Mooseheads are penetrating the zone, they're getting the puck to the net, they're crashing the net. Puck's just not going in right now. McMullin's the reason.
Quebec has a lot of veterans on their team. They're playing a good road game here, and I know that you mentioned last night they lost in Sydney, and maybe it takes a while to get your road legs, but they're playing a good defensive game tonight.
Well, that's right. It starts with last night. They came off of the wrong end of a 6-5 game to Cape Breton. They're here tonight in the big city, so to speak, and they're here on fire, and they're playing an excellent road game. They're bottlenecking the middle zone and basically taking their chances as they get it to the net, and that's how you play a road game.
And they've had a couple of goals, sort of backdoor a defenseman or a forward coming in late, and if you're a defensive team, whether you're a forward or a defenseman, you have to watch that guy in the backside, don't you?
That's right. Where the play is starting from is they're actually very quick to get on the puck carrier. They're almost trapping deep in the Halifax zone, forcing the turnovers, and they're basically looking to get it to the net or are looking for the back door. They had 2 great clinical backdoor plays, one on the power play, and watching the D come in off the back door on the Bourdon or
Bourgeon,
yeah, and basically that's the difference. They're playing a very smart game.
And their captain Sean Collymore made a smart play. He busted through a check there and threw it at the net. I believe it hit your CNN winning, but never a bad idea to do that.
Well, again, one of the rules in the game is when in doubt, get it to the net. He broke down the right side. He fought through a check. Had no other option but to either turn it over or throw it to the net, and throw it to the net. A little bit lucky, but then again, you make your breaks.
Timofey Shishkanov has raised a lot of eyebrows here, and I know you like what you've seen from him tonight.
Well, he brings a whole package. He's got the size, 6'2". He's got great wheels. He's offensive, defensive. You're seeing him. He's strong pursuit, strong on the puck, gets the puck, got a great one-timer on the goal. Again, we've seen off the draw how quick he can release the puck, and I think he's a dangerous guy at any time.
And quickly, the Mooseheads trail by 4, but if they're going to get back into this one, they need one in a hurry, don't they?
That's right. And it's the old-fashioned, you got to go 1 goal at a time. They got to keep getting the puck to the net, maybe crash a little bit more on McMullin, make sure that he goes through the back of the net. That's your chance. Get a sloppy one, that's all that counts. Build off of that, 1, 2. That's the only way to get back into the game like this.
Our thanks to Tim Cranston. He'll be back after the game to give us his thoughts on the 3 periods of play. We'll be back with Scott Bradley in just a minute. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Welcome back, everyone. The Ramparts leading the Mooseheads through 2 periods of play, 4-0, as we remind you to call our viewer response line at 1-888-354-8439. Tell us what you think about what you see here on Eastlink Television. Well, the Mooseheads have a veteran lineup this year, not many rookies in it. We're going to take a closer look now at perhaps the busiest rookie with the Mooseheads this season.
It would be difficult to find a hockey player logging more ice time these days than Kyle Doucette. The 17-year-old centerman is gaining valuable experience with the Mooseheads while starring with the Halifax MacDonald Major Midgets. It's a dual role Doucette is enjoying, even if things get a bit hectic sometimes.
Some days I have, I don't know, 7, maybe 8 practices throughout the week, or on the ice 8 times a week, but I don't know, it's good. It's really a positive experience to get so much ice time, and there's a little more lenience with the midget practices, but it's really fun. I like it. All the guys are fun, so it's good.
Doucette may be the only player in Moosehead franchise history to play 2 games in one day. October the 20th started off like many other Sundays for Doucette.
I ended up getting up for, I think it was about 9 o'clock for a 12:30 game with the midgets. I played the full game, not knowing I was going to play for the Mooseheads later that day. And then about, I don't know, 10 minutes after the game, I was in working out after the game, and one of our coaches came in and told me I was playing, so I just didn't even have enough time to get dressed, so I just went in my shorts and t-shirt, grabbed my gear, and I took off, came here, played against Rouen, so it was good. It was really good, a little tiring, but it was good.
Doucette's coaches are impressed with his performance, both his junior coach, Sean McKenzie, and his midget coach, who is glad for Kyle's opportunity with the Mooseheads.
It's a good situation for Kyle. Anytime a player gets to play at a higher level, Major Junior is obviously a much quicker game. What it allows Kyle to do is, when he comes back and plays midget, it slows the game down for him quite a bit. So you can see that he has lots of time to make decisions, whereas when he's playing Major Junior, he doesn't have as much time. So it really slows the game down and almost like gives him an extra second step.
It isn't very often that a player scores his first goal in the queue the way Kyle Doucette did on October 30th. His end-to-end rush showcased what the speedy forward is all about.
So I was just coming back in our own zone, and Pat Gilbert made a nice pass up to Bernier on the wall there. And he just chipped me the puck. I made an all right move on the defenseman at the blue line there, and just kept on going, went wide on the defenseman. The goalie came out to poke check me, and I just ended up stepping around him and putting it in. Just hearing all the fans is just exciting just in itself. But yeah, it was good to get a nice goal on my first one.
It looks like all that extra ice time is paying off.
And there's a look at Kyle Doucette. We also saw his head coach of the Halifax McDonald's, Dave Fox, a good New Glasgow boy from the west side. We want to remind you that these games are webcast on www.eastlink.ca. Our next live broadcast comes to you next Friday night when the Drummondville Voltigeurs visit the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles at Centre 200. Join Dave LeBlanc, Ken McNeil, and Paul McDonald for the action. 4-0, the Mooseheads trail after 2 periods. Get ready for our credit union highlights.
Off period 2, a chance here for Quebec. Josh Hennessy with the shot. Glove save made by Boutin.
Now for the first goal of the game, Shishkinov, a power play marker. He'll be at the left side of the net. A nice feather pass over, puts it in behind Boutin to make it 1-0. Another chance for the Moosehead. They had 23 shots in the period. The shot on net, and again McMullin with one of 34 saves here this evening. Josh Hennessy going down, picks the short side in behind Jonathan Boutin to make it 2-0. And then Sebastian Bourgogne picks a nice puck in. He'll puck up as he comes in through the slot area from his defensive position. He was left untouched by the Mooseheads. He put it up inside the post behind Boutin. McMullin again very busy in that period with another great save from the point. He's able to cover up again with some great work. Some action around the net. And McMullin, a couple nice saves again, and he's able to stand tall in that net. Some more action around McMullin. It was all in the Quebec zone, and McMullin made the save when he had to. And finally, Sean Collymore down deep in the zone, takes the hard hit by Ursina, follows up on the play, throws the puck in front of the net. It was tipped in by, I believe, one of the Moosehead defensemen to make it 4-0. Shishkinov, Hennessy, Bourgogne, and Collymore for the Remparts. No scoring for the Mooseheads. Shots 23-10 in the second, 34-16 overall in favor of the Mooseheads. But the big stat is Quebec Remparts 4, the Halifax Mooseheads no score.
Both teams start this third period at full and even strength. And Jason Churchill will see his first action in quite some time for the Halifax Mooseheads, at least. He has been playing regularly, a solid goaltender with the Antigonish Junior A Bulldogs. And he is in to replace Boutin to start this third period. As the Mooseheads find themselves trailing 4-0. Gannett will push it ahead. Halifax can't move any farther. And Massey will send it in off the wall. Upshaw there to pick it up for Halifax. He'll spin it around the boards near side. Sear through the middle. Verana couldn't pick it up cleanly. McMullin now will come out of the goal. He'll send it around the boards. Verana could not reach it. And backing up for the Mooseheads, Picard. He'll send it across for Gilbert. Gilbert now will send it into the right corner. And it's Bolduc. Back to pick it up for Quebec. Puck bouncing. Bolduc will leave it for Beaucheté. And it's Quebec again getting it to center ice. So they lead 4-0, so they can kind of push it out. Here's Bell now to the backhand, pushed away by Herchebys, and it's Berube now for Quebec. Guillaume Berube. And Herchebys finally will clear it in for Quebec. Off the boards, Picard now will skate it up for Halifax, being watched closely by Berube. Gets the pass away. Bernier will send it inside the zone for Halifax. McMullin out again to stop it. Gilbert will leave it for Bell. Bell had it hot for his stick. And it's again controlled by Quebec as it's sent in by Constantine. Churchill stopping it for Pat Gilbert. Gilbert will force it ahead for Couch. Couch again slaps it in around the boards. McMullin can't stop it. Thatcher Bell on the loose spot for Halifax. Got to move it quickly, watch closely. Bell unable to get it going tonight offensively. Couch took a stick in the face. Puck continues to bounce. Here's Couch now. For Benedict. Sherrill shot, and another stop made by McMullin. In off the point, Jimmy Sherrill. Nice pass, but the Mooseheads can't connect. Quebec, though, on the other hand, come back. Again, it's Churchill. He'll sweep it around the boards. Montgomery couldn't play it. And Cabana. Too far for Jimmy Sherrill. Beaucheté will send it across the line. Chance now for Boyou. He'll send it inside the line, and Halifax will skate to it. They trail 4-0 here in the hockey game. Third period. Yes, Frederick Cabana can't get it inside the line. Shishkinov. Hennessy can't play it. Here's Cabana walking in. Doucette Shot there, a lot of traffic, puck bouncing. Finally, control by Verena. He'll send it in deep for Halifax. Cabana being worked over there by Hennessy. He had the feet pulled out. No call from Tamander. And the play will carry on to center. Ursina will take over for Halifax off the boards. And again, Quebec will flip it back in. They look to be content, Paul, perhaps to just dump it in and play the clock.
Again, you're up by 4 goals against the Halifax Mooseheads, who can really put the puck in the net. 9 goals their last game. So play the defensive style if you're Quebec. Try to get the win on the road. Jason Churchill in nets now for the 3rd period. Ken, a couple chances this year to see him play with the Antigonish Junior Bulldogs. He's a big goalie, 6'3", but 175 pounds. And when he plays his position well, he can be very tough to beat.
Well, obviously, Churchill would love to play at the next level, but seeing him quite often this season could be a huge loss for the resurging Antigonish Junior A Bulldogs.
Well, he's won some games for Antigonish this year, and hopefully he'll get a good shot here with the Mooseheads.
Here's Gilbert now, strides in over the line, the pass. Preston couldn't reach it. Picard will keep it in at the line. Lavelle spun away from his check. Now to the circle, this shot. And McMullin might have got a piece of that one as it steered to the corner. Back comes Quebec now. The pass for Constantine. Constantine, the Chicago Blackhawk draft pick, will send it in, and Quebec now will complete the line change. Alexander Picard, stick handling inside his own line, watched by Constantine around that check, and finally will flip it into the opposite corner. Jean-Michael Balduc there to pick it up for Quebec. Ahead now for the defenseman on the rush, or rather forward David Massey. Another shot, and that's deflected off a shin pad wide. Shishkinov now quickly on the puck. Back to the line, penalty upcoming here against the Mooseheads. Bernier will touch it, and Tamander signals the high stick against the Mooseheads, and Quebec will go to the power play. Currently 1 for 1 in the hockey game. Halifax trailing 4-0. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. So the power play opportunity here, Paul, and Quebec 1 for 1 in the hockey game, and really have taken advantage of the chances tonight. Just 16 shots on goal.
That was the first goal of the game. Shishkinov at the 4:38 mark of the 2nd period, and that's really what has jump-started this Rampart team here at the Halifax Metro Center.
Well, they've got some firepower, and they have it on the ice now with Collymore, Massey, and Shishkinov. Back on the blue line, Beaulieu. Josh Hennessy on the ice as well for Quebec. Not Shishkinov. Actually, it's Shishkinov now jumping in over the blue line. Hennessy worked over there by Couch. 4-0 score here, Quebec on top. Hennessy now watched by a pair of Mooseheads. Here's Massey. Stick handling, went to the backhand, and he had it roll off the end of his stick. Beaulieu, the defenseman, now will slide it in around back of the goal. Massey to Collymore, top of the circle. Shot, he scored! Sean Collymore with a bullet from the blue line. It's a power play goal.
2 for 2 on the power play here this evening, and again, they're just putting the puck on the net. Collymore with the big shot from the point. Puts it in behind Churchill. Puck will be worked from down low back to the point, and who's there by Sean Collymore? Collymore will be to the left of your, to the right of your screens. Some pressure in front of Churchill, and he's unable to make the save.
17th shot on goal for the Quebec Remparts here this evening. 5 goals to show. Mooseheads have yet to register, one by Benji McMullin. He's been solid tonight in the goal for the Rampart. Here's Peter Brana. For Jean-Francois Cyr, he steered his man to the corner, but Quebec pounced on the loose puck, and they'll turn it up ice. Here's Collymore, the captain for this club. In over the line, there's the shot, just missing on the far side. Fauché. Cyr now will gobble up the loose puck, and he'll try to turn up ice. He was stripped by Montgomery. Brana, though, will pick up. He's in over the line, but offside on the play as FP Gannett had jumped in ahead of the puck.
Against Moosehead starting to press a little bit as they started to about midway through that 2nd period of play, as they were down 3-0. Now with Collymore's 2nd of the game, it's 5-0. Perhaps too deep a hole for the Mooseheads to climb out of, but try to pick back at it 1 goal at a time. They have enough firepower. They have a lot of guys with a lot of point streaks on the line here tonight. So I think the Mooseheads, if they get one, they may be able to start rolling.
Mooseheads next play at home November 21st against the Moncton Wildcats. They're coming off a big win over their rivals in New Brunswick, beating Bathurst last night 4-2. The Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, they'll play at home on Sunday against the Bay Kamal Drakkar. Here's Jimmy Sherrill. Sherrill will try to spin away from Barubi. Barubi all over him. And the Mooseheads will get some help in the order of Thatcher Bell. Bell ahead for Marc-Andre Bernier. He skates down the right side, hacked there by Bourgogne. And then he's hammered from behind into the boards by Sebastian Bourgogne. And that will draw the wrath of referee Todd Timander. And we'll see whether it will be just a minor penalty or a major. And Bernier remains down on the ice, being attended to by Chris McQuaid, the Halifax trainer.
As we said in probably every broadcast that we've ever done here on Eastlink, you have to watch yourself. You have to be in control of your body when you're near the boards. Bourgogne comes in deep. Bernier beat him once to the outside, and the puck goes in the corner. Bourgogne tries to take him out. That's a very dangerous hit there. Bernier still on the ice. Benedict comes in to help out. Bourgogne being shown to the ramp there as he's been kicked out of this hockey game by referee Timander, and I'm sure Bourgogne wishes he hit that one back. Definitely nobody wants to hurt anybody in this league. And the flashlight out by the trainer looking into his eyes. Perhaps he was knocked out on that play or dazed very, very much as he was taken in heavily, and he hit his head going into the boards.
Marc-Andre Bernier enjoying a fine season this year. In the second season, didn't see a whole lot of ice time from Laval. 6'3", 200 pounds, and certainly a prospect. So we'll take a look at some upcoming broadcasts here on Eastlink Television. Next Friday night, we'll be back at Center 200 in Cape Breton. Drummondville will be in town to play the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. And then the following Friday, the 6th of December, 7 o'clock start, the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. The former coach of the Mooseheads, Bob Mongrain, will visit the Metro Center against the Halifax Mooseheads. So it's a power play here for the Mooseheads, 5 minutes. And a chance maybe for the Mooseheads to crawl back into this one. And the puck is cleared down the ice. And Churchill in to replace Boutin to start this third period. He'll leave the puck for Picard. Fans trying to get behind their hockey club here is Thatcher Bell. Not a lot of open ice for the native from Guernsey, PEI, as McMullin just about got caught out of the goal.
A 5-minute power play opportunity for the Mooseheads. They can score as many times as possible without losing the manpower advantage. They have it for 5 full minutes. If they can pump 1 or 2 behind the goaltender here, McMullin, that may be enough to get this team back into the game.
Face-off is inside the Quebec line. Brenna unable to win the face-off is Jean-Michel. Bolduc sends it down the ice. Churchill again out of the goal to set it up for Halifax. Verena will receive the pass. He'll move it ahead for Gannett. Gannett strides in over the blue line. Watched closely by Bolduc. Centers it. And it's tipped off McMullin. The goaltender stick. And back to the line. Gilbert. Now for Verena. Jean-Francois Cyr will control it. The hash marks. Now they work it to the backside. Gilbert across. No shot by Ursina. Lucette spread it out with Cyr and Gannett on either side of the post. They work it again to the blue line. Gilbert left side. Faked it now to Verena. Down low they go for Cyr. Cyr again back to the top. Here's Gilbert. Fake the shot once again. Here's Ursina. Great puck movement, but not much happening. Gilbert again. Slap shot blocked by Beaulieu, the defenseman. Ursina, he teed it up, shot right on. Rebound, Gannett couldn't pull it up to his stick. Finally, they push it into McMullin, and he'll hold on to it.
Some nice work by Bolduc, the defenseman for Quebec. 6'4", 180 pounds. He clears the zone out very nicely in front of his net.
5-0 Halifax Trail. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Power play continues here for Halifax. Sherrill take the shot and send it around the boards for Brandon Benedict. Watched closely by Rochette. Now for Bell to the blue line. Back to Thatcher Bell. Bell will work it down low. Benedict walks up. Rebound. Thatcher Bell couldn't put it in the open side. And the Mooseheads will control it. Bernier works it again to the end boards. Benedict circling out front, watch closely. Here's the pass for Sheriff. Back to Benedict. Shot there, safe. Rebound, and another stop off the stick of Thatcher Bell. There's Thatcher Bell now. Between the circles, shot. Nothing on it, and it's intercepted and shot down the ice by the Quebec Remparts. Leading in the hockey game 5-0. Power play continuing. It's a major for Halifax. Here's Thatcher Bell now as he wheels and deals in over the blue line. Link wide pass. Now they work it to Picard. Fake the shot again. The one-timer right on, and McMullin over in time to squeeze the pads together and hang on to it.
That nearly squeaked through the 5-hole of goaltender McMullin, as Bernier took a nice low hard shot, a one-timer, and again, when things are going good, things are going good. McMullin just a little bit out of position, but was able to make the save and cover up. That's his 41st save here this evening, and Ben McMullin has been the story of this hockey game.
Mooseheads looking to control this face-off. Ursina waits. Here's Picard. He's looking for it. Shot there, a stop. Yes, Verena will go to work in back of the goal. There's the pass. They work it to the blue line. Ursina cross for Picard. Picard again for Ursina. To the circle once again. In front to tip. And Verena just missed. There's McMullin got a piece. Here's Picard again at the point. Shot goes away wide. And Ursino will keep it in at the line. Hennessy knocks it down. Puck bouncing. Mooseheads don't know where it is. They'll have to come outside the line. Here's Picard's long shot again to the right corner. Big collision there. Gannett. And Beauchete. Here's Picard. Keeping it at the line. Sheer one-timer. That's again off the stick of goaltender Benji McMullin. Verena to the corner boards once again. Hennessy spinning. Nice play by Picard to keep it in. There's a shot tip. Goes just wide on the stick side. Penalty coming here as Verena knocked his man down, and the power play is over for Halifax as Verena makes his way to the box.
Perhaps a little bit of frustration on the part of Peter Verena as he took down the much bigger Bolduc in front of the net with a cross-check. Commander, referee of the game tonight, 12, 15 feet behind the play, and he makes he had no choice but to make that call. Great play by Alexander Picard at the blue line to keep that play alive. Nice low shot again. McMullin able to deflect that into the corner. Some nice chances by the Mooseheads, but again, when you run into a hot goaltender, sometimes there's not much you can do.
Well, it looks like for the second consecutive game, the Mooseheads will fire more than 50 shots at opposing goaltenders. They scored 9 times on Wednesday night. So far, they've yet to bulge the twine here tonight at the Halifax Metro Center. Thatcher Bell couldn't center. Here's a chance. Churchill made the save off Bolduc, who jumped in from the blue line. Bell back the other way as he tries to cut in. Backhand shot is stopped by McMullin. Cabana up to throw a hit. Yes, yeah, he missed everybody and went crashing into the end boards. Chance now for the Mooseheads. Loose puck at center. Benedict off the bench, couldn't play it. Quebec now will set up 4-on-4 hockey here for the next 45 seconds. Then Quebec will enjoy a brief power play as the puck finds its way out of play.
43-18 the shots in favor of the Mooseheads. Gilbert with a great year so far, 13 points. Last year he had 23 points, so in 1/3 of the season he only needs 10 more to collect the same amount of points as he did last year. He wears an A for the Mooseheads. A little bit frustrated tonight, but a good effort by the Mooseheads offensively, just unable to score.
Of course, you've got to think what kind of moves Marcel Patnaud and the Mooseheads will make as they tweak their lineup. Of course, the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles making one of their own as they sent the captain and 20-year-old defenseman J.P. Cote, 2 batters for a second-round draft pick. There's a shot, and what a beauty stop. McMullin again robbing the Halifax defenseman Upshaw as he snuck in once again from the blue line. And this guy has been perfect tonight between the pipes for the Quebec Remparts.
Another great save by McMullin. Upshaw showing some good offensive flair this year. Jumps into the play. And watch a nice little pass by Doucette to Upshaw. Again, a nice save by McMullin.
Puck squirts outside the line as Ursina threads it ahead for Preston. Now he'll redirect it for A.J. McLean. He's hit by Beauchete. Puck is taken by Shishkinov. And he'll send it across for Josh Hennessy. Hennessy gets inside the zone. Gilbert stayed with him as the puck is sent around the boards. Shishkinov and Hennessy crisscross as the puck now comes to the near boards. And it's Ursina taking control for the Mooseheads. Stepped around one check. Now inside the line. There's this shot high and over top of the goal. Beaucheté looking for it. Preston in along the backboards for the Halifax Mooseheads. They continue to tie up the puck. Commander hollering to play it. And the puck squirts loose momentarily. Great job by Preston. 1-on-2. And he's able to win that battle along the end boards. Robert in front. McLean can't get a stick. Here's a chance. Perrin out of the box. Wired one. Another save. Rebound. They can't put it by McMullin as they jam away in the high slot. Puck continues to be loose. Finally cleared by the Quebec Remparts. And tonight is Benji McMullin right here at the Metro Center.
3 great saves there. Ken Brandon with a couple of good chances. He's putting the puck on the net. McMullin just happens to be there.
The shots not very good last night in Cape Breton for the Ramparts. And Benji McMullin has been out of this universe here so far tonight. Here, Oliver Beaulieu can't clear it. Here's Randy Upshaw. Shot. That's off the leg and deflects out of play. As we get a stoppage, 5-0 for the Ramparts over the Mooseheads. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Well, so far it's been McMullin in goal and the stick of Sean Collymore that has the Ramparts on top 5-0. Collymore with his 11th and 12th on the season. He's also picked up an assist. McMullin continues to bar the door, hoping for that shutout. 5-0 is your score.
Again, this was a game I think that the Mooseheads, just for their own psyche, would have liked to have won. They've lost 2 games this year, 1 in regulation, 1 in overtime to the Quebec Remparts. Looking for a big win here tonight. Now the Ramparts have come in. They've shut down the big offensive thrust of the Mooseheads in the first period, and then they were able to score 4 goals in the second, and that's really been the story of this hockey game. A good start to the game for the Ramparts and able to score goals in the second period.
We're going to have a scrap here. Looks like Upshaw for the Mooseheads, and he squared off against Constantine off the Ramparts as they exchange right hands. And Randy Upshaw and Constantine continue to square off here. And the crowd, something to cheer about. Upshaw with that right hand loose, and he measures Constantine with a couple of good right hands, one of them an uppercut. As they start to tire out here. Upshaw maybe looking to spark his hockey club, maybe not for tonight, but for the November 21st game against the Moncton Wildcats, their rivals in the Maritime Division. Upshaw gets a nice ovation as he heads to the box, and Constantine will do the same for his Quebec Rempart Hockey Club.
Fight took place immediately after a face-off, and both players getting the helmets off the other player, and Upshaw with the right hand just throwing them. Constantine has to tie that right arm up a little bit better. You just can't grab onto the jersey and hope that you get the arm. He had the jersey a little bit too far over towards the chest area, and Upshaw was able to get control of his right arm and just start throwing them, and he landed a couple nice ones to the jaw of Constantine of the Quebec Remparts.
So both players will pick up 5-minute majors for fighting. With the 7:07 to go here in period 3. It's all Quebec here tonight from the Halifax Metro Center. We'll remind you once again our next hockey broadcast next Friday night, the 22nd of November. We're in Sydney at Center 200. The Drummondville Voltigeur will be in town, and they'll play against the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles next Friday night, 7:30 start. We'll tee it up from Center 200. Both teams at full and even strength here. Gilbert looks to push the puck ahead and back of the goal now. Benedict, you've seen a shot, went just wide. Gilbert looking to keep it in at the line, cannot. And Bernier will skate back to pick it up for the Halifax Mooseheads. Here's Gilbert now. He'll tap it off the board, stopped by Collymore. Now finally does get out on the second chance, and it's St. Pierre. He moves it across for Beaucheté. High off the glass and back inside the Moosehead zone. Ursina will skate back for Halifax. Milan Ursina, right wide for Bernier. Bernier skates down the right side, passed it off. Nobody there but Beaulieu. And it's Brandon Benedict. He turned it over for Halifax. Now the bouncing puck. Picard sends it back inside the line. And Benedict, the captain of this Moosehead team, will go off on a change. Pass partially broken up now. Finally does roll to Michael Couch. Couch ahead for Sear. Sear with Gannett. Can't get him the pass though, as it's sent down the ice. So we're going to have an icy call here against Quebec. 5:55 to go here in the third.
Again, Quebec's simply going to slow this hockey game down. 20 shots so far in this hockey game. They've only had 4 here in the third period of play. We get a good look at Jason Churchill making his first action of the year. McMullin in the other net, 49 shots his way, 49 kicked out.
Quebec now turn it back up ice, but it's the Mooseheads who take over. Verana back for Couch. He tried to send it off the boards. Broken up. Second chance now for Couch. He trying to kick it ahead for Verana. That doesn't work. Play is going to be called again on the icing infraction, so they'll face off inside the Quebec zone.
Well, Luke, I don't think we really wanted to ice that puck. He was only about 3 or 4 strides from the red line. He just tried to bat it down through the center zone.
Well, the Quebec Remparts will host the 2003 MasterCard Memorial Cup, running from May 17th to 25th, 2003, and that will be an exciting time, Paul. Of course, there's a number of teams, the Mooseheads, the Remparts, the Baie-Comeau Drakkar, just in the Delio Conference, along with Bathurst, that have a legitimate shot to get to the Memorial Cup.
Well, we all know now that the road to the Memorial Cup goes through Quebec City and the Quebec Remparts. If you're the Halifax Mooseheads, this is one of the teams you have to beat. You haven't done it yet this year, but there's all kinds of time left, as you mentioned, to tweak your team and your roster to get ready. And the Mooseheads really aren't that far away from having a championship team.
After being a real contender in past Memorial Cups, the last 3 years, the Quebec League has been represented very well. Rimouski, of course, won the Memorial Cup right here at the Metro Center in the last 2 years. Val-d'Or losing in overtime to Red Deer, and Victoriaville losing last season in the final. So the Quebec League well represented at the Memorial Cup, and I'm sure this year will be no different.
Another good scoring chance for the Mooseheads as McMullin faces and saves his 50th shot of the night. LaBelle coming in on the off wing, puts a nice low snapshot on the net, and McMullin covers up and forces yet another face-off deep in the Quebec zone.
Face-off in the offensive zone for Halifax. They try to work it back to Sear, and it's intercepted. And here's the captain, Sean Collymore, Ranger draft pick. Nice pass for Montgomery. His shot goes wide of the net, as it's kept in by Fauché. Collymore being watched closely by Verana. There's the pass. Sherrill broke it up. And Jimmy Sherrill now. Nice pass through for Verana. For Gannett. Gannett looking to work into the backhand. And that is broken up. Gilbert had it go off his glove and deflect out of play. We'll get another stoppage here. 5-0. Quebec on top. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. Five nothing, as you see there, the score. Halifax looking now to break that goose egg that Benji McMullin has put up here this evening. He's been solid, unbelievable at times in this game. And certainly, first and foremost, the Quebec Remparts would love to keep that shutout intact. So we'll see if they can work that out for the starting goaltender tonight, Benji McMullin. Here's Bell now looking to wheel to the near side, broken up. Picard thought about jumping in. Now he'll send it in as Brendan Benedict will chase it down right corner. Benedict and Bulldog collide there as they send it around on the far side. Picard again jumps up. Bell in there as well. And the Quebec Remparts will clear it to the neutral zone. Then dumped off by Hirschbees. And it's Churchill. Jason Churchill giving up a goal in the third period here tonight after replacing Boutin between the pipes for the Halifax Mooseheads. Here's Cabana. Shot off a stick, and the save made by McMullin. I believe Carl St. Pierre got enough on it to deflect it, and a tough stop made by McMullin.
Puck may have been close to going over the net. McMullin able to get the trapper on it, and he feels if he can do that, he's got to make the save and cover it up. And he's been doing that all evening. As again, the Mooseheads have had a lot of shots here tonight, but they've just been stymied by the great play of Ben McMullin.
Back to the line. Here's Ursina. A lot of traffic, and that shot floated over top of the goal. Turning is Cabana. Cabana has been perhaps the lone bright spot tonight. Although the Mooseheads have had numerous scoring opportunities, Cabana, Paul, has certainly worked hard in this hockey game.
Again, every shift Cabana gets, game in and game out, he gives everything he has. And when you have a 16-year-old player doing that, it bodes well for the future.
Hennessy put the hook on Kyle Doucette as the puck rolled through center ice. Here's Gannett now. He'll push it ahead. Gannett will charge in. There's the pass. Intercepted, though, by the Rampart defender as Michael Coach moves back to pick it up for Halifax. Coach now catching Quebec on the line change. Moves into the backhand to the forehand. McMullin down. And then the puck swatted away at the last second. Kyle Doucette headed hop over his stick. And now a chance for Quebec. Yes, Vladimir Kootenay not seeing a lot of ice time tonight. Ahead for Montgomery. The backhand pass. Shot goes wide. Off the stick of Fauché. Here comes Peter Verena back the other way for Halifax. Left circle. Now he'll have to circle the goal. Nice job by Bolduc to force him wide. Here's a chance now. Gannett in the slot. Had it roll by. And the puck cleared out by the Quebec Remparts. Picard, the backhand pass ahead to center. Cleared in by Couch. Gannett in Verena. Move in on it. Here's the FP Gannett. Circling. Gilbert's shot is partially stopped by goaltender McMullin. Around the boards. Picard can't keep the puck in as it bounces down inside the Moose zone. Time winding down. 5-0 the score. Yes, Sear stick handling. Herchebys took the puck away. Gilbert follows up. Cabana back on it again for Halifax. Frederick Cabana. 1-on-3 rush for the Mooseheads. Walking in, still with it. Can't get the shot away. Great effort. Here's Doucette's shot. And he wired it just wide on the glove side. Good scoring chance off the stick of Kyle Doucette. All set up by the hard work of Frederick Cabana. Less than a minute to go here in the third period. It's been all Quebec on the scoreboard. Shots 51-20 in favor of the Halifax Mooseheads. Puck is sent in. Cabana and Berube race to it. Berube took Verena, or rather Cabana, out. And it's Kyle Doucette looking to slow up the Rampart rush here as the puck bounces at center ice. And it's Sherrill. Jimmy Sherrill, he's played well tonight for the Mooseheads. A turnover at the line, and back comes Quebec. Fauché dropped it there for Kootenay. His shot is off Sherrill's stick, and it'll travel into the crowd for another stoppage with just 10 seconds left in the clock.
Again, a good scoring chance. We see Kootenay, a native of Slovakia, a rookie. He's the leading rookie point getter for the Ramparts here. He's only got 3 points. Verena, on the other hand, for the Mooseheads, 28 points on the season. But again, 51 shots directed at the other team's net. If you're the Mooseheads, you're upset that you lost and didn't score, but still, if you're shooting 51 times at the other team's net and only giving up 20 shots, you should win most of those hockey games.
Puck is down, and Sherrill will pick it up as he skates at the center. The final seconds ticking off. Here's Verena looking for one last ditch effort. Nothing comes of that, though, and the buzzer sounds. This hockey game is in the books. Quebec win it going away 5-0. A solid performance in goal tonight by Benji McMullin. 5-0. Your final once again from the Metro Center. You're watching Eastlink Television right here at home. The Metro Center, we'll have a look at some third period highlights.
Here's Sean Collimore's goal, a power play goal, the second one of the evening for the Remparts. A shot from the point. Collymore, nice hard shot on the net, and have another angle, another look at that. Collymore just puts the hard shot on the net. Churchill unable to make the save as he faces his first shot in the Quebec League. It was a goal, but he played well when asked. Bernier coming in hard. He beats Bourgogne, and then Bourgogne takes him in hard, hits his head hard into that glass, and Bourgogne taking out that hockey. McMullin, one of 51 saves here tonight. Upshaw comes in, and he's robbed. Here's another save, some action down deep. Again, Gilbert with a nice shot on net. Jordy Preston, and they're flopping all over the place, but they're making the saves, and that's what they did all evening. They played well defensively. Now here's a nice fight here. Is
if there's such a thing.
Upshaw can. He's getting the old right hand going. Costadine has to cover up, has to really cover up that arm a little bit better, because he took a few to the head. Collymore in the third from Shishkinov and Hennessy. 5:06 power play marker. Look at the shot. 17-4 in the third. 51-20 overall here this evening.
Well, the story really of this hockey game, of course, the goaltending of Benji McMullin. Sean Collymore provided all the offense that the Ramparts needed. 2 goals, picked up an assist. Ramparts, after a very sluggish start to the road trip last night, losing 6-5. Really looking fine form here tonight. And for the 3rd time this year, Paul, the Mooseheads lose to the Quebec Remparts.
Well, the Mooseheads are starting to give the Baie-Comeau-Drakkar fits. Baie-Comeau cannot beat the Mooseheads. Now, the Mooseheads are having a little bit of trouble now with the Quebec Remparts, but I'm sure with a little bit of tweaking, we mentioned it earlier on, that they can come back and beat this hockey team.
5-0 again, the final. That's going to do it upstairs here for us. Let's go downstairs now and join our host, Dan Robertson.
Thanks a lot, Ken. And Tim Cranston, boy, you get up against a goaltender like Ben McMullin tonight. Not much you can do. 51 shots, not a bad effort from the Mooseheads.
That's right. There's not too much you can do other than drive them through the back of the net, and that's, of course, illegal. But when a goalie like that is having a big night, it's tough to put it by him. And, of course, they had all the defense right in front of them, and they were clearing the net well, and it was basically one shot, the odd second shot, but did a great job.
As a forward, when you're getting those many shots, and some pretty quality shots, it's really frustrating, isn't it? You have to start to wonder what you have to do to get one by.
Well, all of a sudden, the equipment on a goalie like that starts to look bigger and bigger, and your shot seems to get softer and softer. So it is frustrating. And again, the only way is to continue to put pressure on the net, and hopefully you get a lucky one to set yourself on the way.
So the Mooseheads are off until next Thursday against Moncton, but they can take something positive from this game, would you say? I mean, you lose 5-0, that's not positive, but they got a lot of shots on goal.
Well, the positive things were they continued the press. They were in the early stages might have been missing a step, but they kept pressing. They were hit with a hot goalie. The other positive is they got to see young Churchill in net. You know, he did a great job, and I think that's they got to take the positives there and start again.
Our thanks to our studio analyst, Tim Cranston. Our next live broadcast comes to you next Friday night from Centre 200 in Sydney. Join Dave LeBlanc, Ken McNeil, and Paul McDonald for the action as the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles take on the Drummondville Voltigeurs. For Tim Cranston, Ken McNeil, Paul McDonald, and the rest of our Eastlink crew, I'm Dan Robertson. Thanks for watching, and good night.